are streaming the St. Patrick's design that we tested yesterday today. Actually doing it on my nails, though. I had a failure on this nail. I didn't use my normal base coat. I was using that other base coat again. Oh, look, there's an ant. We never ever have ants. Do you see him crawling on there? Our complex must need to spray, because we've only ever had ants like one other time ever. Anyway, we're doing the St. Patrick's Day design that we tested out yesterday. We're doing this stamped clover. Let me bring the light over so you can see better. We're doing this stamped clover over this gradient. I haven't fully decided how many nails are getting clover and how many are just getting the gradient, or what direction the gradient is going to go on all the nails, if it's going to be all the same or if some of them are going to be different. So we shall see. But right now I'm removing what I already had on my nails with acetone. I have these giant, do you see these two giant pimples here on my chin? It's like, come on, hormones, stop being a horror. You're just acting all mad for no good reason. So the colors that we're going to be using today, based on our testing yesterday, are Pahlish, Nagini, it's a lightish green with gold flakies, it's like a spring green, Noodles Nail Polish, Lucky Charm. Noodles Nail Polish is actually the first indie nail polish company that I ever purchased from. I was really looking for a fall Crelly, and I found this one, which is like peaches and oranges, a lot of matte glitters and some metallic glitters, and it's called Pumpkin Spice. That's the first indie nail polish I ever got, and it's well loved, as you can see. And I have a backup bottle too, because I wear it pretty regularly in the fall. So those are going to be the gradient, and then we're going to be stamping with Essie off Tropic and CND Vinylux. Palm Deco is going to be our color that we're using to fill in our reverse stamp. Please focus. Hang on. I'm trying to show you so you can see the polish number if you're curious. Number 246. And then we're going to be using this Bundle Monster plate S321. Bundle Monster is not called Bundle Monster anymore. They rebranded and now they're called Maniology, but that's the BM. That's what that stands for. Not anything untoward. Okay. This is coming off pretty easily. I was wondering if I might have to clip it, but I don't think I'm going to. I think just my own vigorous scrubbing will remove this pretty quickly. I've been listening to Murder on the Orient Express. I got the audiobook from the library because I've been really itching for a mystery, and I have not actually ever read that Agatha Christie novel. And so what I wanted to read was And Then There Were None, because I haven't read that one either. And they didn't have it. They were out. That sounds like a grocery store or something, but they all of the copies were checked out. So I got Murder on the Orient Express instead. And the guy who's doing the narration actually is doing a pretty good job of it. He has, I think, a British accent for his natural native speaking voice. But he does a pretty good job of making Horrol, or however you say the guy's name, with the French accent, and the Americans sound pretty, you know, as not like horribly fake in his American accent. So I wish that this light wasn't quite Like, it's either not bright enough or it's way too bright. Let me get the white balance settings up. Maybe that'll help. Yes. That's a little better for now. We'll have to see if it needs to be adjusted later. Anyway, I've only gotten through the first chapter and a little bit of the second chapter, so I'm not super far into it. I just started it yesterday, and I was listening to it in the car on the way to work and on the way home. But I like the writing style so far. Relatively descriptive, not overly descriptive. The characters seem interesting thus far. I had a little bit of peeling on this nail. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. The acetone makes it look pretty bad, but when there's base coat on it, it's fine. I'm not sure what exactly caused the peeling other than the fact that it's just really dry. And that's the nail that I hit when I banged it into the filing cabinet, so it's possible that the base coat could have gotten, like, this is where the crack was, right there. And so it's possible that there might have been base coat that lifted there and pulled some of the nail plate with it. I'm not sure. I don't know. But it's doing okay. With base coat, it'll be fine. My nails are relatively short right now. I think I mentioned that yesterday. They're kind of at the low end of normal. Just casually gutting the cotton ball to get to the inner parts. Can you hear the big cat over here? She's tussling around inside a plastic bag. She loves plastic bags. They're like her favorite thing. And she wants to, like, sit on them and be in them and smell them. I was reading an article at some point that said that plastic bags emit cat pheromones or something, or they are reminiscent to cats of cat pheromones. Oh, look, here she is. She's a beep. It's the big one. She's a snoofer. What are you doing over here, big cat? Are you going to sit with me? Are you done with your dinner? I dipped my cotton ball in the acetone and I'm just squeezing it onto some other cotton balls because it was slightly too saturated and the other ones will need to be saturated, so I'm just sharing the acetone. Let me adjust that a little bit so you can see her cute little face. I've got my tape prep already done over here for my stamper to be able to be cleaned off with. And as far as oh, there, she's a being a lump. As far as the manicure itself goes, it's not super complicated. It's just doing, I'm not even doing the gradient with the sponge because it deposited the flakies all weird. So I'm just using the polish, the brush from the polishes for that. And then I have the stamping, but it's not super complicated. Reverse stamping is just filling in with one color. And like I said, I still haven't fully decided how many nails I'm going to do with the clover. I might end up doing all of them. I might end up only doing some of them. We'll see how I feel as I'm getting going. I know for the ones that have stamping on them, I want the darker green to be at the top of the nail, and then the lighter green to be at the tip of the nail with the clover in the middle, just like we did in the stamp where the darker green is at the top. I like the way that that looks. I think it kind of makes the stem stand out a little better. But I also, sorry, that's my glasses banging into the side of the camera. It might be good for the other nails to have the darker green at the tip. We'll see. I know that I want the thumbs to have clovers on them, so I know what direction those ones are going to go. And no matter which nails I do, if I choose to do accents, the ring nail will have a clover. It'll either be these two with clovers or these two with clovers, possibly. I don't know. Having the ring nail and pinky nail as accent nails next to each other is something that I've seen Heather D do. She has YouTube videos, but she also has an Instagram and stuff of her nails of the day. And it's something that I never would have thought to do it, you know, just me. But I like it. And when I've done it myself, I really enjoyed it. That's what I did when I did my little acorn, freehand painted acorns. I did an oak leaf and then an acorn. And those came out super cute. And that's what I did when I did my 4th of July nails last year. I did a crelly on these nails and then stars over the crelly on those, the pinky and the ring finger. It turned out cute. So maybe we'll do that. But I know for sure that this one will have the green near the cuticle, the darker green near the cuticle as well. And we shall see. Alright, let's just go over the skin and get rid of some of the leftover polish that's stuck on the other cotton ball when we were holding it. And then let's get our base coat going. I think my cuticle area doesn't really need to be dealt with all that much. I have a little bit on a couple of these nails, but not anything that's going to cause major lifting if I push it back very briefly with a little one of these really quick. Most of the cuticle was removed when I did my little flakies on, I think I did those on Saturday. Just getting rid of the dead skin stuck on the nail plate so that it doesn't cause lifting of the base coat at the edges. And making sure that we have an even line. You know, my thumbs, this edge always wants to kind of creep up a little bit more than the other side. So I just kind of even it out when I'm pushing back the cuticle area. And then a swipe with acetone to remove all the little debris will be good. This nail is like my star nail, this middle slash, sorry, not middle, this ring nail. It is the most evenly shaped of the cuticle areas, and it is the most I don't know, the skin around this nail ends up healthier more consistently than other nails, so it's good for macro shots. And it has the most even C curve from the end. If you're looking at, like this one has a little bit of a lean toward that side, just a little bit, like the bulge of the C curve toward the index finger side of the nail is slightly more. My index finger has a slight, it's kind of like a tent shape in the way it curves. Not dramatically, but it has a peak in the middle, weirdly. And then the pinky nail is, I don't know, just pushed slightly that way. So the curve apex is right there, which is not in the middle of the nail. And then it kind of just flows down in a taper. So this one is the most photogenic of my nails. I mean, the one on this hand is fine too. But do you see that blood bruise that I was talking about yesterday? Where I really put that band-aid on super tight. I have some peeling on this nail too. I think it's just because it's super dry. Which is, I mean, it's not, like, I don't know. The rainy season is winter here in California. And you'd think that that would mean that it's not dry. And yet somehow it manages to be both rainy and dry, like, alternatingly, which is annoying. I found some Color Club watercolor polishes when I was at Walmart, and I'm curious. I got one of them. The only other water-based nail polish that I have are a couple of little Ondine colors, and they are peel-off, and I'm wondering if the Color Club, I don't think it is because it wasn't marketed as such, but I'm really curious about the wear time, and I'm really curious, I mean, I'm going to see if it can peel off or not when I eventually try it out, but we're not doing that today because we are doing our St. Patrick's Day design instead. I was actually really on the hunt for Sinful Colors color from the, I think it's called the Naughty Nudes collection. I really, really liked the Stone Crystal Shimmers, the Desert Divas set of polishes that they did that had kind of larger, flaky sort of shimmer running through them. That green, the Super Cooper that I was talking about yesterday, that's one of my favorites. Comes from that set. And this one, I actually don't even remember the name of it, is a sort of a toffee, rusty, orangish sort of a color that has a similar shimmer, but in a green instead of a gold. So I'm curious to see what it looks like in person and maybe get it, but we'll see. Are you getting cold medicine or something? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Your head was in frame for a little bit.
That's fine.
Just letting you know. I don't have any viewers right now though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I know, I'm just letting you know. Just making sure I'm getting all the dry skin off of the edges and pushing everything back evenly before we begin. Like I said, I did this more in depth a couple of days ago, but it doesn't hurt to be thorough, especially when you're putting on a design that you really hope will last longer than several days. One of the reasons that my polish, the polish that I had on already, one of the reasons it chipped, I said, was, I think I might have said this, because I used a different base coat than I normally use, and it just wasn't as firmly adhered to me as I would like. Okay. I have really been wanting to, I don't know, I'm tempted to listen to my audiobook on stream, but I know that that is not okay copyright law wise to be able to then upload to YouTube or anything afterwards, so I'm not going to. I mean, I guess I could if I had headphones, because I could still read chat with headphones, but I actually don't have any good headphones. Like, not even... I have a weird headset that is missing its ear fuzzies that has a microphone attached to it that I got when I was in college because I wanted to do LibriVox book recordings, and then never got around to it because my life got busy. But like I said, the ear fuzzies came off of that, and they're really uncomfortable. I jammed a stick or something up underneath this nail. Can you see the little blood pocket there and how the smile line got deformed a little bit? It's in the middle of healing. Anyway, so I have that, like, pretend fake loser headset for headphones. And then James got me really, really nice ones that were, like, normally a couple of $100s or whatever, but he got them on sale back when we were dating. I don't know, like, maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And I had those, but when we got married, I could not find them when we moved. And that was 5.5 years ago almost. And so they just have been gone since then, and they're not, like, I was like, did I leave them at your house? Like, if I brought them over when we were hanging out, or they weren't anywhere in my stuff when we were moving, so I don't know what happened to them. But I've always kind of mourned them because they were such a nice present. And then I thought about replacing them, but I haven't actually. Because normally I can just listen to things without headphones, but the conundrum of this presents itself. Got a little bit of a dry edge of skin right here that I'm trimming off, this little hangnaily bit. I'm sorry, I need to really make sure that that's smooth before I begin, otherwise it's going to catch the polish cleanup brush on the edge. You can see that grow out of the staining that I had from my the caviar bead nails that I did. Focus please. Right there is the edge of the yellow, and then this is all yellow and this is all fresh growth. I don't remember when I did those. It was a couple, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Actually, that manicure might be part of the contributing factor toward this flaking, because some of the nails on that design ended up, because they were relatively thick, they had a lot of top coat. When I got a lifted edge, several of the nails just peeled off as one big peel. This doesn't have very much cuticle on it at all. Bravo, pinky nail. Bravo. Got my little clean off deal for my stamping plate ready to go. I just left the same fuzzy on there since we're not doing all that much differently. Okay, and then really making sure that the surface of the nail is clean from the acetone. See, the problem with the flaky areas is that they sometimes catch cotton fuzzies, and that makes it harder to make sure that the nail plate is super clean when you're applying polish without little lumps caused by, pardon me, I just bumped my camera stand, caused by like fuzzies and things underneath. Let's start with the nails that we know for sure. I'm kind of thinking oh, I think I have an ant crawling on my leg up my pants. That's not a comfortable feeling. Sorry, that distracted me. What I was saying was, I think I'm leaning toward doing clover, clover, alternate gradient. Sorry, that's not on camera. Clover's here, alternate gradients here, clover here. But let's start with the thumbs and things, and we have to do base coat on everything before we do any of that anyway. So, you know. This is my favorite base coat. Going back to it, my sweet, sweet love, Glisten and Glow Sticky Base. The consistency of this base coat, it just goes exactly where I want it to go, and it evens everything out so nicely, and it dries so fast, and it is just a very good base coat. I really, really like it. It levels everything out. Like, if I have a little flake area in my nail, it really masks the like plain value, not value, but the like topography change, I guess, of the little flaky area, and it adheres. It just really gets along with my body chemistry really well, so I get really good wear out of it. And like I said, it dries really fast, so by the time I get back to my first nail, it's ready to go. And it's really easy to control on the brush. I just really like it. Which isn't to say that I don't have other base coats that are okay, but this is by far the best. Like, I don't know. I had the Super Cheek Lacquer. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's the stain blocking base coat that they have. I've got the bottle over here. I can check in a minute. And it did not really block stains for me at all. It did dry super fast, so I liked that about it. But it wasn't super sticky, so it didn't last as long. And I still have a little bit of it left. You know, so sometimes if I know I'm only going to have a design on for, you know, a day or two, I'll use that base coat instead. Let me just make sure I don't have any banged up against my cuticle here on the edge. Sorry if my focus isn't great. I should adjust that if I know I'm going to be in this area for a little while. Possibly. Okay, so you see here on this nail, oops, I'm sorry, I just banged into that. Smooth it, smooth it. So like this one, where there was that flaking that you could see. Let's see if we can get it focused up here. Do you see how smooth that reflection is? How there isn't really a distortion? Like, a little bit, sure, but with actual polish over the top, it's not going to be noticeable that there's anything going on there. Let's angle this way slightly more. So that we can do this hand. I don't have that many Glisten and Glow polishes. I have one called Beatboxing in the Bronx, which the color tempted me so severely that I got it, even though I knew that it was probably going to be glitterier than I would actually want in real life. And I have not worn it as a manicure yet, so we'll have to see how I feel about it once it's actually on my nails. And I have Long Johns and Luge, which is a gorgeous sort of a toffee brownish, rusty orange sort of color. It's got a little bit more like toffee brown. It's a little lighter. It's not like deep toasty brown. It's more like a slightly caramely feeling to it too. But that color stained me really badly. Hi! Thanks for the follow, Crazy Lady. Was that car or Crazy Lady Cat? I don't know. How are you? Yeah. Anyway, the Long Johns and Luge color stained me really badly. And then I have a couple of other polishes from that same collection, actually. I think one of them is called Sweaters and Snowboarding or something like that. I have the dark green one and the dark blue one that were from that same collection. That's not really focused. I apologize. It's just base coat. It's not that interesting to watch. We're doing St. Patrick's Day nails. And my colors are all back here in the background. But first we got to do base coat, right? First things first. Get the anchor down. That's an Essie nail polish color, actually, called Anchor Down. But I don't think I have it because it was too similar to Denim Patch, which is a CND color that I already had. Okay. 2 more nails of base coat, and then by the time we get back to that first hand, we'll be ready for color because this, as I said, base coat dries very nice and quickly. Is a big cat there? Yes, she is. Good. Sacrificing the face cam for the cat cam. Because everybody knows cats are prettier than people. Anyway, I think they're prettier than people. Most of the time. In just an aesthetically cozy kind of way. Okay, this one, this nail, this edge of this cuticle always wants to like diagonally do its like diagonal thing instead of being a curve, so I have to like force it to be a curve before I put polish on it so that it gets polish in the right places and can continue to create the optical illusion that it is a properly shaped nail. Okay. Voila. And then back to the first nail, we're ready for color. So, I already know, based on our testing from yesterday, that for the nails that have clovers, I want the green to be at the top of the clover area. Excuse me, pardon me for the absence of focus skills. Focus, please. There we go. Okay, so we have high praise. We got the dark green near the cuticle on the nails that are going to have clovers. And I know for sure that I want clovers on the thumbs. And I know for sure that I'm going to have clovers on my ring nails. And we're debating. I don't think you were here, Praise, when I was talking about deciding which nails are going to get what. So I'm thinking clover on thumb, clover on these 2 nails, and having dark green at the cuticle and then light green at the tip. And then on these 2 nails to have dark green at the tip and light green at the cuticle. This is the thought at the moment. But I'm just going to start with gradients on the ones we know for sure are going to be that direction. So to start a gradient, I'm going to actually do the lighter color. I'm going to do the color closer to the cuticle first, but I'm only going to go halfway down the nail, and then I'm going to do the lighter color. So we're just going to kind of, let me angle the camera a little bit differently so that's easier for me to hold. There we go. We're going to do, and this is not opaque in one coat, so we're going to come back and continue to blend and gradate as we go in with second coat later. So there's that. And then on this nail, same deal. I'm just kind of going across and then filling in the edge space. I think I need to adjust my focus so it's not trying to autofocus because it's trying to get the bottles in the background there. Let me turn on my auto. Let me turn off the autofocus. There. Because I'm going to be painting here for a while, and that'll keep the focus a little better. Okay. And then, what do you think? Should I do the two and then the other two opposite? Jerry rig sliders on your desk so you can pull the top toward you. Oh, that would be cool. Anyway, is this over here dry enough? Okay, I'm going to do the thumb on this hand and the ring finger on this hand before I decide. I'm indecisive. I gotta kind of hold my breath a little when I do my left hand painting. And by that I mean painting things with my left hand, not the painting of my left hand, because I'm right-handed. And it makes it harder to do. And then, oops, sorry, I banged my glasses on the camera. It's awfully close to my face, which you could see if I didn't have cat cam going. I got a little bit of extra polish on there that I gotta get rid of. Back in the bottle. And then we got there. Let's do the lighter green on these nails as well. The dark green is dry enough that it's not going to just immediately get all over the brush on the Nagini lighter green polish. I am going to overlap this slightly with the darker green to start to create that gradient, but I'm really going to make sure that I keep the edge that's going over the darker green really thin so that it's starting to blend rather than creating this harsh line. And trying to make sure that I keep the tips capped, because that does prevent chipping. You know, people always say, you know, the thing that's going to chip first is the edge of the polish, and if the edge of the polish is underneath your nail, there's a lesser likelihood of it snagging on things. Now, again, I'm going to go over these areas again and continue to blend them as I go. So let's do those on the other hand as well. What are you doing to jerry rig the slider sprays? Do you have sliders that you're just kind of like changing the workings of, or what's up with that? This angle going from the side for some reason helps me keep my brush strokes a little bit straighter on the pinky and ring finger on my opposite hand. Like everything else is pointed this way, and then when I get to this hand I turn it that way. Not sure why. Just makes it easier slightly. Okay. Big cat is just a sleepy lump. Ugh, this stupid bruise. I wish it would just heal and go away. That's still a little wet, but the green is drier, so I'm actually going to do the second coat of the darker green. It's ready for the second coat of the darker green, even though it's not ready for the second coat of the lighter green. But that makes sense, because in our testing we saw very clearly that the darker green dried faster than the lighter green, because they're from different brands. That doesn't surprise me. And also, we have painted the darker green in first. T-tracks from table saws. Okay. Ah. Yes. That's interesting. Do you have any resources that can help you? Have you been looking at tutorials and related things? Or are you kind of just making it up as you go without any guidance? Because that sounds hard. Okay, so most of the blending here is going to be done with that Nagini, the lighter color over the top. So I'm bringing it closer, not remembering that I set the focus distance. Okay, and then darker green on the other hand on these accenty nails. The light angle is not super great there, you guys. This is a ring light. It's supposed to be advantageously non-harsh, but I don't see that being the case. Maybe if I tilt it like that, is that a little better? Kind of, sort of. It's still a little bright. I need it to be this bright so I can see what I'm doing in person. You're experimenting hardcore. Alright, well, good luck. Darn, I banged into my cuticle. That means I'm going to have to clean that area up a little bit more cautiously. Let me see right there. I got it in my cuticle. So let me get my cuticle scoop. Sorry, that angle's not on camera. I was just really trying to make sure that I was getting down into the cuticle area to get that green out. Because I can get it with my cleanup brush later, but if I can get it while it's wet before it dries, it will create less of an opportunity for staining. Because greens have a possible potentiality of staining. And I don't think, I mean, my base coat isn't marketed as a stain blocking base coat, although a lot of people say that it does work well to prevent stains, but I don't, like, I'm not banking on it, you know what I mean? Okay, that's pretty good for the green. That green is opaque, so then we just have to work on blending it into the lighter green. We got a pretty good blend on this end of things by doing the green and then a little bit of this green over the top. So the light green is going to go part way up. It's not just going to meet in the middle. A tilting tabletop thing, yeah. It's possible. Hopefully you can get it to work without having to resort to purchase of, you know, alternative materials. Oh gosh, this stupid light is so bright. There, is that better? Not really. It's on auto. It's supposed to be adjusting the white balance. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab the slider and accidentally clicking on the bar instead. Is that better? Yes, that's better. I'm going to leave it at that for now, because it's just getting all washed out. So I'm getting most of the polish off of the brush, really just gradually kind of sliding it up over the top of the darker green so that it's starting to blend. And then I'm also finishing the regular second coat, so I'm carrying it over the end of the nail. And even though this lighter green, I think I was saying yesterday in our testing stream, even though it's really pale and it looks super sheer on the first coat, it actually is opaque in 2 coats, pretty, if you're careful with it. It's not too bad. See how it's starting to blend? It's still not perfectly blended. I need to do a little bit more touch up, but I gotta wait for this bit to dry first. So we'll come back to it. Again, removing wet polish from the skin before it dries. And then really removing most of the polish from the brush and kind of just scooching it up over the other color to help build into this gradient. And then adding a little bit where there needs to be a little bit added, like on this side, there's a kind of a harsh line. Kind of a harsh line right on this edge. So oops, that's too much. Gonna add a little bit more of the lighter green right there. And then make sure I don't have any polish on the skin by using my cuticle scoop, which is, it's just a Revlon nail file. Oops, sorry guys, I smooshed you again. And then this color is still wet, so I'm going to do the second hand before we come back to the thumb. I've got Africa by Toto going through my head. I don't know if I told you this, Praise, but I'm starting to develop an 80s playlist on YouTube. I'm just going through and finding all of the 80s music that I like to jam to and putting it in a playlist. And that is one of them. Just kind of dabbing and daubing and readjusting and blending. It is a good song. The music video is kind of weird. You know, because I'm doing it on YouTube, so I'm getting to see all the music videos for all of these songs as I'm finding them and adding them.
Let me get to somewhere where I can...
And that one is a little strange. It's got, I don't know. I globbed on my skin there, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the songs, like, there's quite a few Journey songs, yeah, that I put on there, right? Not surprising. But the singer, like, they're not in chronological order. And the style shifts from, like, the first videos where like, the hair is all super sleek. Oh, awesome, Praise. I'm so happy. That's great. To then later when it's a little bit more, like, shagged out. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. I'm adding a little bit more of the darker green across just to help with the blend. Again, I'm going to go over it with the lighter green again and that will really blend it well. At least I think that's what I was doing yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly. And it did work pretty good. And this is what I did when I did the other blend with similar polish colors, the Wild Rushes and the Rusalka. Just adding a little bit of the other color underneath, because the sheerness of the blending color really just helps. It'll be smoother than that. I know that's not super smooth. Custom LOTR though, is that like their own version of it with like their own designs, or like your pre-made like design custom as in not made by a publishing house? Which way do you mean that? I took that down a little further. I'm actually going to remove some of that really quick with a little bit of acetone, just the bits right close to the tip, because I don't want it to go down quite that far. That's a little more even. Still a little further than the other, but not bad. Completely custom design based on what was in your shop. Ended up wanting brown with gold with the Moria door and the Tree of Gondor. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. You haven't actually finished those ones. Single volume, okay. Oh, I actually really like that with the front and back. Her family crest on the end papers. Oh, that is definitely custom then. That's neat. I hope he enjoys it. I know you're going to have fun making it. Alright, yes, that one is coming along nicely. Yeah, that blend is actually better. That's not quite dry. I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to see it. The front and back design, I mean, you know. I think I am going to do the middle nails to match the ring nails and have clovers on both of these. I like that way of doing accents. So I'll do those next. And then I'll decide what direction I'm going to have the gradient on the other two. What do you think about having the gradient go the opposite direction on the nails that don't have clovers? Praise. Do you think that would look good, or do you think that would look like crap? Because I am not sure.
The game where I hold right click. It's getting a...
Mayhap? That's non-committal and unhelpful. Oh, well, you know what? I just put on my pinky the same direction. So if I end up not doing them the same direction, then I'm going to have to redo that base coat. Commit. Okay, I'm going to take this off on my stupid pinky because I shouldn't have done it in that direction. I should have done it at the base instead. And I will commit. I'll have to, I mean, I'm going to obviously come back to this nail. I want to do all of the ones that will have stamping first so that they have enough time to really dry so that the stamping doesn't squish the gradient out of position.
There it is.
Do 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 do. That is one of the Journey songs. I'm forever yours, doo-doo, faithfully. Oh, the big cat turned her sweet little face, so you can see her. Look, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. You see her little tail curling up around? Yes, exactly. Waves lighter. There actually are lighters, I think, in the music video of that song. So, you know. Alright, let's do some blending here. A lot of the people in the comments of that video talk about, you know, I know this is for musicians, but it can apply to so many people who have traveling loved ones or whatever, truckers' wives and military wives and all of these other things. Which I guess it could if you don't listen too carefully to the lyrics of the verses. If you're just going for the emotional tone. Oh, I need to put my dark green over here still. What are you doing, Gloria? Hey? Gotta get on the other side. You see this wrist stabilization action? It's helpful. I'm gonna have to adjust that cuticle line a little bit. Okay, this is dry enough for me to go back over again with some more of this. I really want to add a very light coat along this edge. And now remember, there's going to be a clover in the middle of this, so it will help visually with the gradient as well to have a clover there, breaking up the completely smooth green edge. But not completely. That's not as smooth quite as I want it to be. I mean, maybe it is. That's about as smooth as what I did in my tests. Nearly. Not quite as. I might bring it up just a little bit.
Is that a cheater?
Did you hear what I was saying earlier about having gotten Murder on the Orient Express on audiobook from the library to listen to? Because I have never read it before. And I have been quite in the mood for a mystery for quite a while. And, I mean, if I haven't read that and it's a classic, why not read that? It's a classic for a reason, I'm sure. Okay, there, that blend is more blended than before the other layer. No, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know the plot. I haven't read it, and I don't want to be spoiled, so please don't spoil it. Speaking of things I have not seen the movie of, one of my students brought in the Lorax today, the book, not the movie. But it reminded me of all of the weirdness about the Onceler on Tumblr when that movie came out.
Follow our boy, he's a pro.
That's doing okay. The color in that particular, I think it's because the auto balance is off again, or something. I don't know. Let me let it do its own thing. And let's see if I can get a better look at the gradient. Obviously, it's a little lumpy because there's a bunch of flakes and there's no top coat.
Here's someone. Wait, I can see you.
Oh, it's getting all blown out.
No, it's not. No,
Sorry.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Pro.
There we go. That's a little better. I'm pleased with that. That looks fine to me.
Wait, where is he? Where is he?
I don't think I'm going to add top coat between it and the stamp.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm going to just do top coat over all of it together. So let's
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not on camera at all. I'm just cleaning up a couple of flakies that got on the skin on the edge over here, so that it looks mostly clean. Let's add some more layers on this end of things after I readjust my focus again. There's like a sweet spot that I kind of pass through. I'm like, oh, it could be more focused. And then I go a little further and then it's less focused. And I'm like, ugh, that's not what I want. There we go. That's pretty okay, yeah. Oh, the big cat yawned. He's a sweetie patooch. Anyway, the student that brought the Lorax book, we got to the middle part of the book and she's like, I want a yucky swamp like the humming fish. And I was like, no, you don't. What? I was like, you would die if you were in a yucky swamp like that. And she was like, what? Oh. I would die? And I was like, right, yeah, probably. That's why they're leaving. And she's like, oh, I want a clean swamp. Funny.
Oh, yeah.
Funny, funny girl.
They're trying so hard. They're like, I don't want to go to Ross's house.
Really just trying to blend this really well on the edge so that it's not too fat. And then on this edge, making sure that I'm covering over
I missed, right?
well enough to blend. That's looking okay.
I know, right?
My big cat, yes, I know. Look at her hugging the chair. She's just like in love. What's like Shrek? The greenness? I mean, I guess a little bit. Or the big cat being a pancake.
Good.
I don't think Shrek is a pancake, is he? I just felt like I lost a little bit too much of this original green.
Oh, I super jacked this guy.
There we go.
Sad. I took his peacekeeper and a purple vest and a blue backpack. It's over for him.
Again, just cleaning up a little bit. Right at the edge.
Yeah, report me.
Where I lost my cuticle stuffs. I do need a little bit more in a couple of places right here.
Alright, where are we going?
To really get a good smooth light green.
Just enjoying life. How boring.
Sorry, I'm being really picky, but I am really picky, so I guess I shouldn't apologize. There we go. I am more pleased with that. You won't be able to see that because I have the zoom not zoomed. Oh yeah, wanting a clean swamp. I gotcha.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense. But I mean, like, he is green too, so there's no harm in referencing him in that regard. Let's add my light green to this other middle nail because I can.
This med kit. Even with these doors. Look.
Oh, and I didn't cap the tip on this one.
She marks it.
Let me do that before I forget to.
I love it. Dang, there was even an R99 here you missed. What's going on?
That was not a clean paint job. I got all into the cuticle on this side, and I got a little on this side too. And just now, I banged this other nail into my wrist, so I got flakies on myself down here.
It's an integral part of the experience.
But it didn't remove pretty much anything. Let's do the dark green. Oh no, I already did the dark green. That's good. I can do the light green then. And help it to blend.
There's a purple magazine down here, dude. There's so much stuff you missed. I think you do. It's pretty good, I've heard.
You know, when you're painting anything that has flakies or glitters in it or something like that, you just have to kind of be careful about where you're pushing them on the nail. You know, if you have like 3 or 4 that are big clumpy ones next to each other, you can kind of pull them sideways so that they end up a little bit more evenly distributed.
I should stand and like look at it, and then right when he comes in, I should push E and run. That's the nice thing to do, right? Lay epic.
Really making sure I'm getting a very thin transition up here. Not too thick. Letting the darker green shine through. We are going to go back over that though, if you remember, with a little bit of dark green to help blend. Let's do light green blending on this hand.
I wait the day I encounter a real actual duck again.
You hear James talking in the background about ducks. He likes ducks.
Deeps.
I'm not sure why he likes ducks so much, but he does. In a slightly ironic way, I think. I don't know what's ironic about ducks, really, though. Aside from the multiple memes involving them. I need a little bit more on this side. And I need a little bit more right there. Right there.
Brain stabilizer.
That's better. And then some right there. And then I think that looks pretty even to me. I need to add a little bit more of the dark green. Oh, hey, Colette. How are ya? Let me show you our testing that I did yesterday. This is our plan. Oh, I need to turn off focus so that I can zoom in real close. We've got a blend from a darker green to a lighter green with flakies, and then a clover with a dark green gold outline and green on the inside. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're working on. The blending of the 2 colors with the sponge totally failed. It did not work at all. This is the area where we were doing that. It just left. That's just one layer of sponging. It just sucked up all the color and left only the gold behind. So we're doing what I did for the other gradient that I did with the other 2 polish, as in the brand Pahlish colors that have these flakies. We're just blending them with the brush.
Where in your ear?
Oh, look at
That's
her.
far.
What is
That's
she
the wrong
doing?
ear.
Oh, she's stretching. Are you gonna go away, big cat, or are you just gonna settle?
Hello?
Oh, she's a beautiful, precious animal.
Hello?
What have you been up to today? Oh, let me reset this again. Pardon. Since I'm here for most of the time, for the time being, I am trying to adjust the focus to be a little more consistent. There we go.
Why is the sun turned on? Help? They're here. They're here behind. Oh, behind. The shield's the wrong way.
Really just making sure that I'm blending and blending and blending and blending. This light green, cleaning and organizing, yes, well, such is life. You see this chair behind the big cat?
Healing?
That's got a bunch of Wii U stuff
Healing?
and
Don't
a
die.
laundry basket
Don't
and
die.
some blankets and some Christmas presents that never got put away.
Coming.
Yeah, you know, things that don't need to be shared with the internet, but here I am.
Got him. Got him.
I was planning on wearing the thing that I had on my nails a little bit longer, but I was using a different base coat than normal, and it lifted completely off of one index nail, and I could not salvage it for another day. I would have had to just repaint that nail, and it wasn't worth it because I was probably going to do this tomorrow or similar anyway. Let me just really make sure I've got...
I clicked him and it said 250 and he got tired and fell.
The sheerness of this light green polish is really advantageous for blending. Pardon me.
Yeah.
I need to lick my finger and get rid of a fingerprint here.
I should stand under it and then leave you guys to fend for yourselves.
There, that's a little better. I need to add a little bit more light green right there, though. Yeah, I think I am going to do the lighter green on the opposite end of the nails for the nails that aren't getting clovers, though. I am going to commit.
Oh.
Have you read any Agatha Christie, Colette? Told Praise I got Murder on the Orient Express as an audiobook from the library. I've never read it before, and I really have... I mean, if it's a classic, it might be good to scratch my mystery itch that I've been itching.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, I feel satisfied with the level of blend on that nail as well. So now we just gotta come back over here.
Oh.
This one we can add some more dark green to.
Oh, that way?
Yeah, I haven't really ever read any of her stuff either, I don't think. Not that I can remember anyway, and she's a very classic mystery novelist.
Above me?
Yeah, I know. Oh, the big cat's coming over here. Can you see her behind me? I don't think you can. It's just her butt. Okay, well, you get me instead. There.
Why is he alive? I hit him for 250.
Yeah, I have several things that I'm in the middle of reading. I'm in the middle of reading Game of Thrones because I haven't ever read it before.
Oh no. Nice damage.
Gosh, what is the second one called? Clash of Kings. And I was rereading, well, I guess re-listening to Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow because I just got the audiobooks for those. And so I was listening to those in the car. I cannot stand the audiobook guy for the Game of Thrones stuff, otherwise I'd be listening to that. But now that I'm done with Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow, I'm giving the Murder on the Orient Express a try. I requested, and then there were none from the library, but there weren't any copies available, so I have it on hold. I'm enjoying the style of it so far, though. I'm only like a chapter and a little bit into it. But so far, so good. This side needs the dark green and then the light green on that nail.
I think so.
Oh, you haven't started it yet. You'll have to tell me if it's any good. Because I'm
The
curious, but
temperature
also,
is-
you know, I want it to be good
Is that normal?
before I spend time on it.
There's a lock symbol over, I think, caustic. Just a big padlock.
I think that's too much dark green. I'm going to have to add more light green on those ones to blend it properly. Unless I remove some right now really quick. Hang on.
Alright. Easy.
Yeah, that'll be okay. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the light green actually right now. Just so I can reassure myself that I didn't ruin that.
Oh, bunker.
Really making it thin.
One of those.
So
Here we
that
go.
it can
Going in.
blend.
They're already in. How are they doing it?
I've got a weird lump on this side. I don't know where that came from. I'm going to have to kind of press it flat a little bit.
Don't let him escape.
Oh, that's cool. Did you get a copy for you to leather bind then for him?
I have no bullets. Get ready. Get ready. Oh boy.
I need to wait for that to dry slightly before I can add more of the light green right on that edge. Do you see where there's just slightly too much dark green right there? I don't think you can because the light is glaring.
Oh no. Oh, now it's over. Real Mega Man.
Gosh. Hang on, let me move the camera a little bit. Get into a place where the light is not quite so harsh.
Everyone goes for the gold one.
Right on this edge. Right there. There's like a weird patch where it's like slightly too dark of a green. Blend it to keep the blend properly blended. So we'll see. Oh, there, that's better for the light.
Knocked one?
I don't think you can see it super well from that angle though.
Got them all.
And really, again, just making sure that I'm getting super thin up near the cuticle area.
I like this one. Better version.
So that I can
I like when you loosen
blend and not just create a weird harsh line.
It's so satisfying.
And I'm doing some of this too. And some of this. Just kind of dabbing to remove just a little bit of the color if I deposited too much. That's looking okay. Okay, yeah. It's a good suggestion though. Hi, Pahlish Soul. Thank you for the follow. How are you this evening?
You would. No, I bet.
Oh, do you hear this shouty pouty? She wants to be in camera again. I'm doing all right. We're working on the St. Patrick's design that I figured out yesterday evening. We're doing this blend, but that's not the right. I was freehanding some clovers and it worked okay, but I like this better. It's Sorry, the light there is a little bit too dark now for that. It's clover.
You picked the worst spots. Yeah.
Over the top of a gradient from dark green to light green.
No balls.
So I'm working on the gradient. We're going to do clovers on the thumbs and on these two nails on each hand. And then these nails on each hand are going to be reversed for the gradient. So the darker green will be at the tip. And there won't be clovers on those ones.
Then this woman who's silent took all the heels. I'm in trouble.
Still making sure that I'm getting the gradient nice and smooth. I mean, there's going to be a clover over the top, so it's not like it has to be completely, like, 100% flawlessly smooth, but I want it to be as smooth as I can get it to be without...
Yeah, right? Isn't that something?
No, I did not freehand those clovers. Well, I freehanded these clovers. This one here, and then these ones were with my left hand. I couldn't get the ones with my left hand small enough and more consistent enough as the ones that I did with my right hand, so that's why I didn't think I had any clover stamps.
Are you actually shooting? Is that real?
And then my mom, who was watching, was like, "Do you have any clover stamps?" And I was like, I don't think so, but I can check. And then I did. And I'm glad that she suggested it, because I can use them. Hooray!
And there?
Okay, so we do need a little bit more dark green on this nail for sure. Do you see how the dark green kind of got eaten by the light green? I went up a little too far. I was overzealous in my blending.
Where'd it go?
You know, that's the problem with nail polish, though, with this particular mode of blending, is that if you're doing too much blending, then it starts to get thick. So, you gotta kind of be careful. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I can soften that edge again very briefly with the light green.
That is you, isn't it? That's his best one.
This
oh my god.
Nail had a hangnail on this edge. I don't know if you can see how red that is. It got mad at me. It's not the angriest of my nails, though. This is the one that had that blood bruise. I don't think I'm... Yeah, I don't know if you can see that from this level of closeness.
Violent.
There. I cut my finger on the bottom and I put a band-aid on so tight. One of the new painted polishes that you see in the background. This one? No. Oh, you are close, though. This is last year's Shamrock Your World. It is similar to the other one, but the flakes are gold and sort of coppery flakes. Oh, the big cat left. Sorry, you're just looking at a chair. It's really similar. I'm tempted by a lot of the other ones. I have not gotten them yet, though. I don't remember what the new one is called, the one that has the more purpley flakes. That's similar to that one. She said that they have the same kind of idea behind them, but obviously the flaky choice is different.
What's happening? Heel, please.
There. That blend is a little bit more consistent with the nail next to it. I know. I have several grays with flakies, like several grays with flakies.
I killed them.
So I'm trying to, like, convince myself that I can wait for those, and I'm pretty sure that I will successfully have convinced myself that I can wait for those.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I still need to add a little bit of the light green on that edge. I think I need to add a little bit more dark green back into this one too. So.
Character's brilliant.
And then we can blend the other ones. And then we can... I'm not doing top coat in between my blendings and my stamp. I'm just going to do one top coat over everything.
Kills than there are spots.
But I can top coat possibly the ones that aren't getting stamps on them if I need to. I don't think I don't know. I might grade date them after I do the stamps. We'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. I'm probably going to grade it them first because, sorry, I just realized that my head is like way down here when I'm painting. You can't see me. I'm probably going to grade date the other nails before I stamp so that I leave the other polish a chance to dry in between.
Bunker end. Plug. That's good.
Do I have autofocus on? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to turn that back off again.
That's what you sound like.
There. What are you up to, Polished Soul, this evening, aside from sitting in my stream chat?
Yes, that. And taste, actually. Yeah, that.
Gotta add a little bit more
like
on
awful,
that
but it's
side.
definitely like different.
Look where you're putting your polish brush, ladies and gentlemen.
Like butter on it. Oh my.
Can you see that bruise now, though? I really banged up that side of that nail. I just put my Band-Aid on super tight because I was bleeding all over files and I didn't want to be doing that. And so I just like smushed the Band-Aid on and I bruised the whole side of this nail because I put it on so tight. And now this is like all healed and the bruise is not. Okay, I'm pleased with that one. This one I feel like needs a little bit more of the pale green right in the center. These ones are going to be easier, the ones that don't have the stamping on them, because I'm gradating from the lighter color to the darker color. So I don't have to do the darker color closer to the cuticle.
Like drown in the ocean. It's like that salty.
There. Okay, I'm more pleased with that. I feel like that's more even. Okay, let's do the other ones. Did you see that they have watercolor Color Club polishes? They're water-based, quote-unquote 18-free polishes. I took a picture when I was at Walmart earlier, and I'll put it in Discord. Thank you for letting me use your Discord to, like, tell people that I'm streaming and stuff, by the way, Colette. If that ever is, like, not okay or annoying or whatever, let me know so I don't do that.
Oh, no.
If you don't want me to.
Look what happened.
But the Color Club thing, definitely I will put in
Can't wait to
Discord.
See our damage. Oh,
yeah,
good.
I figured, but, you know, let me know if you ever change your mind. I got one of the watercolor Color Club colors, and I was saying earlier, the only other water-based nail polish that I have is a couple of Little Ondine polishes, which are water-based but also peel off. And I don't think that the Color Club watercolor colors are being marketed as peel off. At least they weren't on the display that I saw in the store. But they're still water-based, and I'm curious. But I obviously am not testing them today because I'm doing this on my hands today. Oil slicks. Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. It was a whole big display. Here, let me actually, I'm going to put it in Discord right now so that you can go look at it. Give me 2 seconds.
Was it with the triple take his one got?
It was... in the nail polish aisle, she said, so obviously. But it was a whole, there were like 24-ish colors that all had C-related names. It's the row under the sign and the row to the immediate right of the sign in the picture I just posted.
What kind?
And I got a blue one. Let me...
I'll have to pull it. I know.
This one.
No.
Watercolors by Color
only
Club.
kind of
I
batteries
really
that
love
have
the
laptop
overlay on the cap. It's super pretty.
No one
This one
wants
is called Keep Swimming. And they all have like ocean-related-ish sorts of names.
I pretend
But
we
it's
don't.
a nice
Like, I legit, if a
blue.
customer
It
is like,
reminded
do
me
you guys have this laptop stuff?
pretty
I'm like,
strongly of
nah.
the Color Club color that I
Guys,
have. Where did I
Don't
put
leave me
it?
here.
I told you I just moved all of my stuff yesterday. Oh, it's down here. I thought to myself, that looks
not yet.
pretty similar to Down to Earth, but it's more vibrant. This is Down to Earth. This is the other one. And I really like Down to Earth. I use it a lot. So they kind of go together-ish. They're not quite as similar as I was envisioning when I saw it in the store, but it's still a really pretty blue.
Yeah, my boss thinks that too. Oh, Mozambique here.
I'm on the hunt for a Sinful Colors, one of the Naughty Nudes. The one that has the gold flakies in it. Nice. That's kind of like the flakies that were silver flakies that were in the Desert Diva Stone Crystal Shimmer.
Almost done looting. Hang on.
Look at that. I didn't hit the skin at all. Good job, Gloria. Left hand. Woo! The Stone Crystal Shimmers collection that had the Super Cooper color, which is that green I really like, and I think Gata Terracotta is one of them, and just Deserts, which is a funny name.
They're coming out.
I really liked the texture of the flakies that were in those, and several of the reviews that I've seen of this other polish say that the flakies are a similar texture but gold instead of silver. So I'm intrigued by that. But I have not found it. I've been to 4 different Walmarts. I went to the Walmart near my house, and then the other Walmart that's also equidistant from my house, and then I went to the Walmart by work, and then I went to the Walmart that's between work and home, and none of them have had it. They've had, like, the new display with the place for it on the shelf, but... And they have, like, all the other polishes in the collection still in stock, but that one is always out. And I think it's because it's the most interesting and beautiful, in my opinion, of them all. Let's get the dark green.
Yeah, we just keep the keys. We just give them to people for whatever. You know how many Black Ops keys I have still? None. Because those come with the RTX. I think we have like 4, but people like at work use them. Oh yeah, it's that's right.
Did I tell you guys? I know I told Praise, but did I tell anybody else that I was made a mod on the Reddit Lacquerista page?
Yeah. People buy 20.
They were. The mods were like, hey, we're kind of drowning here. Can anybody give us some help? And I was like, I've never done modding, but I'm here every day, and I see things that are like spam that I would like to remove, and I'm unable to, so yeah, I can help. And then they said, yeah, okay. You're a regular content creator, etc., etc. We trust you. We know that you're nice to the people around you. Thank you.
They're good friends with us. Yeah. Gigabyte tries to be friends with us, but they're not very good at communicating.
I don't know. I don't really.
And they don't like own up to stuff either.
I just am like glad that I can help make the community better, because it's a nice space for sharing your stuff and getting inspiration from other people.
Yeah, it's because they're Taiwanese.
On a broader spectrum, you know.
I could just get you a 970 for like $90.
And it's a bummer when people who don't care about jack squat come in and try to ruin it by being either spammers or
because I just bought
rude.
all of
commentators, or there's a lot of like weird, you know, Colette, people who comment things like, ooh, can you show me this on your feet? Or like, I don't know, there's this one guy who doesn't contribute anything to the sub except like every 2 or 3 days he'll comment on someone's post. That looks nice, period. Like, it's the same exact comment every single time. And
you're dying.
It's very clear that he, like,
Where is he?
is only visiting the subreddit because he's interested in the way that people's nails look in, like, I like that kind of a way, which is creepy and weird, but he hasn't, like, crossed the line into actually being creepy and weird, aside from just his, like, vibe. He's been warned that he really needs to not ever make anyone uncomfortable, otherwise we're going to ban him immediately, though.
Got him.
Hopefully, he does not ever cross that line.
I punched him? No, he's dead. Isn't he dead?
I'm surprised how well the polish, like the flakies in these two polishes, being from different brands, blend with each other.
I have no ammo.
They look like good in a blend from one to the other. And the flakies aren't completely identical, but they're close enough. And like I have been showing you, the lighter green is kind of going over the top of the darker green to some degree. So it kind of takes its flakies with it, I guess, and helps the blend. Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't want to ruffle feathers in a way that will get him banned. I mean, even if he is banned, he can still view the content. There's nothing that can prevent him from seeing the web page, you know.
What?
But it would prevent him from
I was
commenting
gonna be like, I have this old like Core 2 dude
and from posting. He never posts though, so that wouldn't really be a deterrent. I've got a weird dry skin something going on right here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's like the remnant of a hangnail or a blister or something, where like the skin is like a deep pocket of dry sadness. And it needs to be excised. Oh no, you know what I think this is? I was making shrimp things the other day and I stabbed myself with a prong.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think this is where that prong injury was, in the underlayer of the skin. Because that top layer healed and fell off quite a while ago, the scab from it.
Have you ever seen the really big Samsung?
It was a very small scab, because it was just one little prick. But I think this is where the actual, like, channel of passage was.
Yeah, they were returning a motherboard, and I was like, okay.
Physiology. Okay.
Where'd the motherboard go?
Alright, so back to this hand.
Yeah. In his email, he's like, oh, darn, XD. I must have sent the board to the other vendor.
I'm glad that you haven't gotten very many of the super creepy ones, because that would be super creepy.
Or $120, it's up to you.
Am I relatively in the focus range? Kind of, sort of, only kind of, sort of.
Cool monitor, though. It doesn't work with this game, though.
You know, for these the two colors that I tried with the stamping yesterday, I was doing Zoya Wyatt and Essie off Tropic, which look pretty close on swatch, but Wyatt was a lot more sheer in the stamp. Like, not, I don't know, I guess lighter in the stamp. It wasn't super sheer. It was just lighter. And it didn't contrast as well with that's the one with Wyatt. You guys can't even see. I'm sorry. For some reason, it's making these way darker than they look in person. And I can't make it zoom in. You can see the colors, though. How it doesn't have as dark of a border, even though... Like, I could mess with the zoom again if I wanted to, but I would just have to put it right back again, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I see him go through the corner, and literally the moment he turns the corner, I'm down.
This nail, this edge of this nail always wants to be a butt.
No, you didn't. That was me.
And this edge of this nail on the pinky also. And I think it's just because it's on the opposite side. But I also think it's the way that the skin grows. I don't know.
Don't shoot me. Knock another one. One more. One more. No, oh, it's caustic. Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
Oh, the big cat's back.
Run, run. They're doing the freaking Reddit meme.
The big cat's back. There she is, being a cute lump.
Ross got killed by a meme.
I love her. She's so sweet. She's just like, I will sit near you forever. I love you forever and always. What's
They're
that
trying to
song?
debate you. Don't fall for it. Don't do it.
I did the pushing of my cuticles
I'm out.
on camera
Wait, put it out.
earlier
Put it out.
at the beginning of the stream.
There.
There wasn't that much involved to do because I had
Wow.
done a fairly deep
Wait, there's another squad.
scrub with a sugar scrub that had gotten rid of a lot of the excess dead skin around the edge of the
Another
cuticle
squad down the stairs.
earlier
Around
this
the
week
corner.
on Saturday. And so I am just,
Making his
I mean, I
escape.
just pushed him back slightly. I know. He's playing something.
I'm leaving you behind.
Pardon me, my throat. Got a little froggy doodle in it.
There's a war out here. What do we do?
What was I talking about? Oh,
We're in this house.
I use, a lot of the times I'll use just a sugar scrub to get rid of the excess dead skin along the edge of the nail. And then I'll use my little scraper,
Okay, let's get out of here.
my metal scraper, this one here.
Let's go
This
get
is the one I
Ross.
was
Let's
using
go here.
earlier, to just make sure that
Let's
there
go here.
isn't any dead skin and dead cuticle tissue stuck to the nail plate. And then I'll really just remove everything off of the nail with acetone. No, it's not a DIY sugar scrub. I mean, you could use a DIY sugar scrub. That wouldn't be a problem.
What if you saved
I
that for
like
after
the Tea Tree Hut ones. I like the mango one because I like mango scented things, but they have a bunch of
Think
different
how far
smells.
we could go.
I just get a little bit of sugar scrub on a toothbrush, and
Yeah,
I
you're right. We're gonna die
scrub
in a minute.
the edge of the nail, and it gets a lot of the cuticle off of the nail plate in addition to the dead skin around the nail. And then if I really have stubborn cuticle tissue things that are stuck on the nail plate that I can't get off with just the dry scrape, I'll do a wet cuticle remover. I use the Sally Hansen cuticle remover gel. I had a bunch that were on sale. I found it on sale for like $2 each, which is a really good price for that. So I have a couple like in back stock. Kind of blending. You know, I needed to when I first started because my cuticles were in, like, when I first started to be in nail stuff, my cuticles and the skin around my nails was in the worst possible shape it could ever be in because, I mean, I used to be a nail biter, but I stopped being a nail biter when I was in high school, but I continued to be a skin around my nails chewer until when I started being interested in nail stuff. And it really helped to control the overgrowth of my cuticle. And I don't think you really need it. I haven't used the actual cuticle remover.
Yeah.
I think in 9 months, something like that. I don't do it very often anymore. The sugar scrub bit and the scraping with the cuticle remover tool really does do it most of the time for me.
You can watch Ninja on your phone?
You just have to make sure that you wash your hands after you use the cuticle remover,
Usually pay a lot, though.
so it doesn't leave the active ingredient on your skin. Thick and white, and you hate to go get a manicure because those places aren't always clean. Yeah, you know, a lot of the time when you have, like, oops, I'm sorry, I'm dropping things. This edge,
so good and bad about, like,
all of the skin that's coming forward this way over the nail is excess tissue. And if you've gotten it
Like,
off of the nail plate and you've scraped it and you've scrubbed it to get as much off as you can use one of these.
Yeah, they're those.
Little V-shaped little trimmers. I use these on hangnails mostly, but you can cut off the dead cuticle. Don't trim this living skin, but if it's like the lifted, loose, hanging off bits, you can trim those so that they're not looking all janky and giant and flappy, if that makes sense.
Those are like the most popular cards.
I know Praise does that with hers. She's not super into nail stuff, but she does do that.
Yeah.
When she's feeling like they're getting out of control.
A lot of those. A lot of 1070 Ti's. 1660 soon for that. Yeah. There's a ton of them. People are always confused. They ask me, so like, what is this card for?
Several layers of...
kind of the same, but not really.
Several layers of blending. I'm mad a little bit that these didn't work with a sponge, because that would have been easier. But I guess this is a little neater because I don't have to use latex.
No, it's Mastiff. Ross is the chosen gun. I don't even know Light magazine.
My sweet big cat. Look at her sweet, sweet face. When I see her, I want to shout with joy.
It depends.
I'm just
depends on which one.
I love you. I sound like a seagull, but I love you.
Slow is like 500. There's one of the crappy P&Y ones because we're trying to get rid of them, like the Founders ones. Oh God.
The things that bring you joy. The simple little pleasures, as Colette would say. And cats are one of those things.
Ow. Ow. I'm hurting.
Of course. How do you say your name? Sralda? Is that right?
I'm disabled. Oh, no.
Okay. Do you do your nails at home usually, or do you maintain them on your own at home at all, or are you kind of like looking to start? Because, boy, I have made a significant leap forward in my nail and cuticle health in the past 2 or 3 years. More like 3 years. I had a pretty big setback when my nails, the skin around my nails, became allergic to gel polish, which I was using at the time pretty consistently, and all of the skin around the nail just got really messed up. So I had to heal from that too. Yeah. Nailed it. There's a lot of things that you don't need to go to a salon for that you can do at home. I've never had my nails done at a salon. My good friend, right before my wedding, took me to get a pedicure at a salon because I wanted to have bare feet at my wedding, And, okay, yeah, that's fine. Just be really careful with the gel polish. I say this to everybody, but really make sure that you're not letting the uncured gel touch your skin if you can help it. And if it does touch the skin, clean it off as quickly as you can. And really make sure that when you're cleaning the dispersion layer off the top, that you're not just rubbing that all over your skin, because that is uncured gel and it can increase your exposure, which can then increase the risk of developing an allergy. So when you're cleaning the dispersion layer, you want to get the alcohol on the pad and then wipe straight down off the nail rather than rubbing in circles. There's a whole, what's her name? There's a gal on YouTube. Her name is Natasha Lee, and she does nail art stuff. She's a nail tech. She does a bunch of videos and whatever. I'm actually not even subscribed to her, but she has this video about gel polish allergies and acrylate allergies, and the ways that you can prevent or diminish their possibility of formation. That had a lot of good information in it. I need to darken the tip of that slightly. That's not dark enough on the other end.
Oh, jeez. We don't even have a third. Oh, really? Alright, look at... Oh,
Same thing there.
God.
It's not dark enough on the tips.
Alright, Senius, you know how to end this, right? Look. We have 2 rates.
But the biggest thing for me in making my hands not look like raggedy pieces of trash like they used to is making sure that I have one of these little V-shaped cuticle trimmers with me all the time. Because I used to, if I had a hangnail, I would chew at it and then it would get really messed up. And now I can just trim the little bit that's actually loose without having to like have it catch on stuff and without ripping it with my teeth and making it worse. And it lets it heal a lot faster and it just is better. It's just better. So much better.
Kill him. Make him cry.
Oh, men.
Yes, he jumped.
I don't know if you could hear that in the background. Yeah. My hands are pretty dry. If I don't take pains to moisturize them, there's a lot of good hand creams and cuticle oils and things that you can use.
Yeah, down there. Can you hear him?
I've tried a bunch, and there are quite a few that I mean, not a bunch, like maybe 6. That's mildly a bunch, I guess. And there are some that are like really good, and there are some that are pretty good, and there are some that are like only okay. And I think part of it is a matter of personal preference for like the textures that you enjoy on your hands. Like my favorite hand like moisturizer is the OPI Avo Juice one because it feels like it absorbs really quickly.
Got him in the head.
And it just, your hands don't feel greasy afterward. I also like the Burt's Bees Baobab or Baobab is how I said it when I first bought it, and then my husband mocked me and I read it more carefully and learned that it was said Baobab. They have a, oh dang, I was trying to reach over and grab it and I banged my nail into a thing. Hang on. Let me fix this really quick. I'm going to be blending the rest of that nail anyway later, so it's not that big of a deal. This one is a lot thicker, and it feels much...
Using a Phoenix kit in broad daylight?
Like, it's a cream, it's not just a moisturizer, but it absorbs really quickly, and it doesn't leave that gross, greasy, whatever all over you. So I enjoy that one too. We are almost to the point of stamping. We're getting there.
We did it.
I accidentally removed too much of the dark green. I think I told you on these nails down here.
How many kills you got, dude?
So I'm adding some back in. I'm going to blend, obviously, this middle area again with the lighter green, but I'm going to make sure that I preserve some of the darker green right at the tip.
We're supposed to lose, but we have 2 rates. This is looking good.
I am liking this. I like the gradient between these two. I think it's fun.
Use our double portal.
I think it's fun. That's success. Oh yay! Praise! I'm so pleased. What did you do that made it work? Or if it's too complicated, just say, that's too complicated. I'll show you when you're at my house later. You know what? A lot of that comes with practice. And hand stabilization. When I'm painting this hand, a lot of the times I'll put my wrists together like this, and it stabilizes things. And if I'm not on camera, I'll put my elbows down. Sometimes I still will on my knees, so that I have my elbows anchored and then my wrists are anchored, and that prevents things from getting too wiggly. But I'm not super shaky to begin with, so
This makes me nervous.
I'm not the best one to give advice about that compared to some other people that I'm aware of.
No.
I was reading the Lorax with a student earlier. I think I might have mentioned that. But I have the word sneed just like bouncing around inside my head.
Makes quote smurfs. What are you smurfing? Panic mode?
Oh boy. It's just such a stupid sounding word. But, you know.
MMR? Like, what do you think is in this game? It's a battle royale.
Very memorable. Too complicated, you'll show me later. Okay, that's fine.
Probably not. Yeah, if anyone can pull it off, it'll be Respawn. But I mean, how will it work? I don't know. So I'll tell you right now, being literally #1 in NA and PUBG was like a lot of AFK in the grass, watching Netflix, and then getting 2 kills. So.
Speaking of watching Netflix, I don't know if you can hear James in the background again.
Yeah, it's
my TV is up on the stand.
Regular
Yay! But it's not actually set up yet again because I need to connect the sound bar to the TV. I mean, I could turn on the TV and just listen with the TV
yeah, I have 500
speakers, but I don't want.
Here you go.
I don't know. I just haven't had the need to do that at this point yet. And if I do, then I'll just actually properly set it up. But we have the living room free and everything is all out of the way, which is so nice. Okay. That is a lot smoother. I feel like
it's a gold helmet.
I'm okay with that level of dark green on the tip of that.
Every time I see that gold digital thread sniper, it's like
I think it'll be even better with the clovers over top too. I am pretty pleased. I'm feeling okay with it.
I don't have any heals, man. We need to go kill people and take their heals.
I've seen other people do similar ideas of like flipping gradients on accent nails versus non-accent nails. I just have not ever done it myself. Okay.
Yeah.
That hand is done with gradients, I think. Yay! And then after we finish blending these ones, then we'll do the stamping, and then the top coat, and then yay, we'll be done.
That's the real scope.
Okay.
Where'd it go? No, the HCOG class.
This green, the lighter green, is showing up less green in camera than it is in person. I think we discovered that yesterday.
This game's not big enough for it.
It is Pahlish Nagini. If you want to like look up a swatch picture or whatever, I'm sure you'll find something more accurate. Some of the swatch pictures are too neon-esque. It's not like neon, but it is definitely a bright spring green. Because I know my mom yesterday was like, it looks almost cream, and I'm like, no, it's definitely green.
The scope.
Definitely green, not cream.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit more of a line there than I want. Do you see that? So I need to add a little bit more light green right over that edge. And a little bit more dark green on the other end of that edge.
Where?
Just a little bit of more dark green right there to pull it up higher. And then just a little bit of light green over the whole area. Very thin, very light, very gentle.
Well, you scared him pretty bad. He hid behind that rock. Wait, that wasn't
so
you.
that it's helping to blend.
I see them. I see they're coming. They're coming.
Blend. I sound like some stupid French art teacher. Blend. Oh no, I sound like Edna Mode. Haha. From The Incredibles.
He's so
no capes. But I guess she sounds kind of like a French art teacher, doesn't she? There, that's better.
What's this guy doing?
I still feel, okay, no, it needs a little more on the other side. Sorry, I'm out of focus, I know, but I needed to get a different angle to be able to see this edge of this gradient. There. That is more consistent. Okay, I need to stretch. Hang on. Hey, big cat. You're cute.
I like how you get the echo from both. Like,
she just yawned on the other side. You can't see her face, though.
It's pretty okay.
Because she's showing you her back, because she's too cool. She is definitely a monarch. She wants to be the one in charge. So does the baby, but in a different way. The baby wants to have no one get in her way when she goes around blathering at socks.
2 out of 12 bullets.
And the big cat wants everyone to look at her as if she is a queen. Which we do. So she can't complain. Okay, let's see how that blend looks on this side. I feel like it needs just a touch more of the dark green on that edge.
It makes me sad.
Not a lot. Just a little.
Oh, I should have executed him to recharge my shield. Yeah. Man. I know. Alright, let's heal up.
Yes. Okay, and see, that's better on the dark green, and then blend just a little bit of the light green right over the top again. As I said before, the sheerness of the green polish is helpful for blending of the light green.
Just imagine if you were a third one. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Then we'd
I think
really
that's
be
good.
doing it.
Yeah, that's good.
Everyone
All
just has to
right,
laugh. You don't even
yay!
have a
Time
gun,
for
by the way.
stamping,
Your character's pointing
yay!
his fingers towards the horizon.
Ugh. Alright, let me adjust this angle.
Alright.
Because our stamper is down here.
We're gonna win.
I've got so many cotton balls going on. Give me just a smidge of a
I'm
second
so mad.
to
Three squats left. Let's go.
figure out what's going on here.
I know, so will I.
Let's get this focus changed. I don't know why it's super dark right now, because it shouldn't be.
Star them out of here.
Maybe it's because there's so much
You fell.
extra white cotton ball fluff distorting it. I don't know.
You gotta get us a good position, dude. I know, but you gotta.
There.
They're all looking about that and not. Oh.
That does not feel in focus. That's not in focus. Why is it telling me that this is in focus?
Really? Zip us in. Oh, we gotta go in. We gotta go in. Don't let them heal. Don't let them heal. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Is that okay? Can you see that? It's... I don't know why that's blurry.
I'm so scared right now.
It is...
I don't think they're here, dude. I think you're nuts.
Yeah. Close these.
I think they're past it. Yeah.
Follow me down. Follow me down.
They're gonna be healed by now. That sucks.
Maybe I need to bring it closer.
Where are they? Where are they? Need a bloodhound. Oh, I see one. They're up there. They're zipping in from the
Now you're just getting the reflection from the ring light. I'm sorry, this is not well coordinated. See, now that's too bright. There. That's better on the brightness level of things. Let's see if I can get the focus level of things better.
Big damage on it?
Yeah, I know, but it still doesn't make me happy. Okay.
Can you get a zip line there? They're really low.
Gosh, I wish that I could make this dialogue bigger.
Oh, That's right.
So that I could slide the focus. Not. There we go. That's good enough. I can't adjust it more carefully than that. Okay.
How do we fight that?
Alright, so let's get my stamper.
Let's go to the circle.
My Frankenstein stamper. Where did I put it? I have a mix between the What's Up Nails stamper head
Look out.
and a Queen stamper body. Because I really like the What's Up Nails stamper head, but the body, as I'm pretty sure Praise and Colette are aware, but anyone else who might not know, the body got acetone on it and got ruined. I had to crack open the lid to extricate the stamper head, and then I shoved it into this slightly too small Pahlish base that holds it actually pretty well for stamping. Whoa, look at that white balance. Yeah, it's slightly too fat for it, but it holds it and it's fine. I'm also going to be using my roll of tape to clean off my stamper head in between stamps. If you see me reaching over here somewhere, that's because I'm getting my tape.
We need bras.
We're going to be using Essie off Tropic for... See, and now it's too bright. It was too dark and now it's too bright. Good gracious. Why? Why is it doing this to me? There. Okay. Essie off Tropic for our stamping color. And we're going to be using CND Vinylux Palm Deco as our reverse stamping color to fill in with. So. Scrape. Stamp. And then we need to get our little palette for our Palm Deco color. I did some experimentation with some glitter in between some jelly whites, and I had some negative results, and then I mixed them, and I got a really cool crelly that I'm probably going to use for something else at some point.
That's true.
That was the Creative Cuticles Knock on Wood color mixed with Cloud from Contrary Polish, if anybody's curious. Okay, so let me see if I can get something behind this where you can actually see. I'm just going to fill in with Palm Deco and try to get it opaque in the one blob. Because I could do 2 thin coats with this if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. I just want it to be opaque in one go. So just kind of being careful to get the polish evenly dispersed and not like thin on the edges.
Yeah, after like the first ring, you're like, oh. Yeah.
And being careful with following the curves and not getting too big of a blob of polish on the very tip of the brush, because that makes it harder to go, or easier rather, to go out of the lines.
It's a pretty good hitbox.
I see a lot of people with reverse stamped images where they like have gone out of the line slightly. I'm probably just OCD, but that bothers me. It doesn't look right. So I'm really trying to be careful. There's a little bit of the particular image that I'm stamping from, the lines are not perfectly smooth. There's some jaggliness in some of the lines that's like part of the etched plate. But there still is a clean and distinct border of where the image ends. It's not like, I don't know if you've ever tried to like color a Foxtrot cartoon page. Yes, controlled glom, that's exactly right. And then there's like just open edges at like the character's hair, or like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. If you ever try to color him, or if you see the colored versions on like Sunday pages or whatever, his hair just has like open areas, and sometimes you just have to like decide where to finish coloring the color. That is not the case with this particular stamp. It actually is contained. I need to get a piece of tape though, because I should have gotten one off of this. Hang on, I'm gonna have to bite it. To prevent. Sorry, Big Cat. To prevent my nails from getting jacked up and ripping it with my hand, because we need to remove the excess bits of green from around the clover.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think I did say yesterday in stream that clovers apparently, shamrocks are not four-leaf clovers. Shamrocks, in traditional St. Patrick's whatever, are just a regular three-leafed clover. So,
yeah,
there's that. Did you see? I don't think you saw it. I don't think I posted it anywhere that anyone could ever see unless they were on stream yesterday. My St. Patrick's nails from last year. Colette.
Yeah.
Probably saw them because she was here yesterday.
Yeah.
Hang on. While I'm waiting for that stamp to dry, I will find it.
For a 6-shooter?
The Big Cat left. She got scared by my tape. So I went the wrong way. There we go. I have to scroll a little bit. I'll find it though. Yeah, that's true. I don't feel like you're necessarily like constrained into being required to do something for a holiday though. Plus, you know, you have so many water marble St. Patrick's Day designs. You could do, oh my god, okay, you could do a rainbow water marble for St. Patrick's Day.
All right.
Because rainbows are St. Patrick's-y, even if they're not green, clovery ones. This is a test that I did like a year ago, and I don't have any of the freaking colors. Yeah, that could be cute. I want to do some. I was considering. I don't know. I didn't write down any of the colors for it, so I couldn't successfully
incinerate,
like duplicate it right away, and I didn't want to dig through everything and like do that much testing to figure it out. I want to figure them out again so that I can do something with them at some point. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that's out of focus. But I had a swoopy rainbow, and then I had water marble clovers, and then a white crelly that had green and gold.
Everything's like faster every season.
Something. Let's see if I can get in focus by moving this back. Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Let's see if this is dry enough.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But
probably.
Like it should add less
okay,
content.
so
like
we're going to center the design on the nail. And then we are going to stamp. Can you see that?
There's like auras.
Voila.
But it's usually like.
It's a clover! Yay! Yay!
Yeah. Or if you guys do like one of the like events, like the synthesis event thing. Like not synthesis works, but for like the last one, betrayal. Like whoever talks to the NPC.
I've done quite a bit of stamping, but every time I successfully stamp, I still feel very happy. There's something, you're like, ha, I did the thing, you know. Even though I've done the thing before, I still am very happy that I did the thing. Yes, that was my manicure from last year for St. Patrick's Day. Did you see it? Do you want me to show it again?
Never good in that game also. You like all the good items.
I can put it. I can put that in Discord actually too if you want, because that I know that looking at a weird picture of it on my phone is like not the most clear way to see it. Do I have the the Crelly from last time? She said with polish sitting on her stamping plate that needs to be scraped. Like Gloria, do this at a different time.
To do like more actual content, but like Diablo, like quality of life. Yeah.
That picked up wonky. I'm not keeping it.
Yeah, it's really lame that it's still like that, and freaking
Yes,
painting.
please, thank you, as in me showing it to you now, or yes, please, thank you, me putting it on Discord.
Yeah. Seems okay.
I'm just going to put it in Discord, I think, in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because my phone, the focus right now is set, and you can't see the colors properly with the camera, the distance, the way that it is. So.
POV's just weird because everything works.
Okay. Let's get some more of this out.
Yep. You have like 50x alt, so you can like make
Let's
a
get
build that kills
this.
Uber Elder with Flame Dash. It's like, what?
So we have 6 little clovers to do, and we have 1 done. So we have 5 more. And I mean, I do have other stampers that I could be using to like do more than one at a time, but I don't want to because I don't care to get them out right now with wet nails. And I was not thoughtful enough to get them out before I started. So, you know.
I just wish Diablo had like other.
Now you can see me while I'm painting.
Like outside of like Creator Rifts. Like that would
just oh boy. This color. I have several colors that are in this color family, the Palm Deco color.
Yeah, like
I have Don't Mess with OPI, which is slightly lighter, but is in this same color family. I have this one.
Yeah.
And I have Mojito, which is a Kale Polish color. I think I went over the line a little bit on that. Yeah. But I think I can clean it up okay. Without being mad at it. And it's like just a primary green, but they work differently for different things, and one of them is slightly more green toned and one of them is slightly more blue toned, and one of them is slightly more right in the middle between the two toned. I did also do some gradient testing with this, the Palm Deco color, and Zoya Wyatt and Off Tropic as a gradient. That looks super dark on camera at that angle without the light being in the right place.
It's alright.
Oh god, you can't see that at all. Let me move the light.
Okay. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not like, oh, I can't wait to queue up for another one. It's kind of like, oh,
you can't see that at all. In person, it's a very nice gradient. let me see if I can get the autofocus so you can see it up close better.
Can't tell if this is good or not.
I have some patchy spots where I didn't wait for the polish to dry enough. Yeah. But it has, there we go. It's got the green and then the other green and then the darker green. It goes from like the mid-tone green to the darker green. And the dark green is quite dark. There, you can kind of see. It worked pretty well.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was kind of like an afterthought at the end of stream. I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to test it and see if these gradate well together, but I'd already decided on what I was doing for the design. Be in focus. Mm-hmm. There we go. That's pretty good. It's kind of dark, but I still like it. Getting rid of the extra bits. There's one little spot where I went over the line. I don't think anyone is going to see that except for me, but I'm going to see if I can get a little. I know you're not supposed to use acetone on clear stampers. I know, I am aware. But I'm going to see if I can just get that one little scooge that's bothering me. There. Haha.
Where's Ross? Can we kick him out?
And then
just kick him out and play with another wraith.
Okay.
Here.
I might have to, here, actually, I think I'll just do that once it's on the nail.
Just join me, or whatever. Just join me.
I think that's dry enough to stamp.
What? You're in a
You
game,
know what?
aren't you?
I have not done enough gradients to be super good at them.
What?
I'm okay at them, but I have not practiced them enough.
Okay, fine, I'll join you.
Okay.
Invite me or whatever.
There's the second clover. Yay. Do I actually need to add some to that stem area? Yes, because I'm picky. Like, no one is going to be this close to my nail to see that there's a tiny little blob missing from this stem, but I am going to know that it's there, and there's a little gold flaky right where the darker green should be. So there, that's better. And then one on the thumb.
What?
And then the other hand. I like that. I think that's cute.
How do I join?
It's not in focus because I have the focus set for down here, but
Ready.
I like that. Okay. Let's get the next stamp so it can start to dry. Make sure that the acetone is dry so that it's not messing with my
Hands not to be bad.
polish. Yep, that's fine for the pickup. Oh gosh. I grabbed the tape the wrong direction. Oh no! Did you see that? Do you see that? I just accidentally taped. You can't because I'm too close. I taped the edge of my clover and I took off part of the leaf and now I have to stamp it again. Goodbye.
Really?
Try again.
Wait, you stay up too late? It's a good way to celebrate hitting 100K.
Oh, that one's wonky too. That's the one disadvantage of having the stamper head kind of crammed into this base that's slightly too small for it, is that it can distort the stamper head slightly if I'm not careful. Like, do you see how this edge got kind of smooshed down more than this edge in the last stamp? I just have to readjust it before I stamp again.
Wait, did I drop? Uh-oh. Oops. No, we're on here.
There, that one's fine.
Yeah, that's good. There's another squad. Get ready.
And be careful with
Prepare
the tape
yourself.
so that you don't rip off the edge of your clover leaf.
Oh no.
There we go. That's better. Because she's lying down in the middle of the living room floor.
Oh,
she's just like a little log over there. I don't know.
Oh jeez.
There she is.
The enemies are
Do you see her?
shooting at me.
She's just like a little lump, just in the middle of the floor.
Where's the guns? I have a scout.
Why? Why, big cat? Why are you doing these things that you are doing? This polish is slightly drier than I want it to be. Let me add some more.
Got one?
Okay. So more controlled glomming.
Help on my body. They're on me. Nice. Got him. Wish I didn't have a scout.
There was that, someone was sharing somewhere.
I'm permanently crouching.
I think it was on, in my first stream, someone shared a link to an Instagram thing with the gel polish they were doing with the little stringy threads or whatever.
I'm going in here.
When I do the controlled glomming with regular polish, it kind of reminds me of the thing I was talking about in relationship to that, where they like outline the area with the gel first and then just kind of like wiggle the brush to fill it in with the other gel.
Yeah, someone shot me.
It kind of feels that way when you're just like pulling the blob of polish as like a general blob. And you're just like, here, this is your edge of your place. Now be one puddle.
I'm gonna heal in here.
Oh gosh, I'm so low. I'm hunching. I'm hunching. The more that I stream, the more I realize that as I do nail art in the course of one nail art project, I hunch progressively further and further throughout the course of the individual design. And by the end, I'm like a lump in the chair. I don't have enough right on the tip of my brush.
Are you ready?
There we go, that's better.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Alright. That is doing okay. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's let that rest.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did a minute ago. I have to do that now while I wait for that to dry again, too. You can come stretch with me. Oh, oh, there's something so nice about, like, going the opposite direction. Just, like,
oh, we did escape the building.
Curving the same way anymore.
I haven't seen one of those in years.
One of my good friends, who I found out on Friday, is doing similar hair things as me. She has curly hair and has known that she had curly hair for longer than I knew that I had curly-ish hair. I'm like right between wavy and curly.
Which is
she was like, texted me a picture and she's like, I put more leave-in conditioner today and it worked so great. And I was like, I accidentally left too much leave-in conditioner in and my hair feels slightly too heavy, so now it's in a bun.
Yesterday? Oh, jeez.
Alright. That's not quite dry enough yet. You know, while we're waiting for that, we might as well do top coat on some of these other ones and clean up around the edges.
Huh.
Let's do clean up.
You do? He's dying.
Is this the cleanest cleanup brush I have?
No. He's pretty good.
I think it is. I have a pile of...
He's like, I'll play Mirage to make it look real.
Oh no, I banged into that before it was fully dry.
Alright, boys.
Let's just squish that back into place and pretend that didn't happen.
Are you really going here? Or
Grace has a reminder, actually. She has a bot in her chat that reminds her to stretch. To sip and stretch and flip when she's doing digital art. She'll flip the canvas so that she's keeping good perspective on things while she's painting or drawing or whatever. I haven't had to do very much cleanup just in general on these nails. I stayed inside the lines pretty well. Good job, Gloria.
How many people are here? What do you think? Oh boy. It's a cow stick.
I like clovers. There's a bunch of different kinds of clover, but the ones near us have the sweet grass kind of flowers, some of them. And then, I think those are clovers anyway. And then, of course, there's the more traditionally purplish, pinkish blob clovers.
No.
Yes.
No.
Desk slides to help you pull it closer to yourself. See, normally I do sit closer to the desk, but now that I have this you know, I have, let me actually just pull this off. Okay, I have the camera clamped down here, and then it comes up and around, and then down. So I'm here, and this is what I'm seeing. You know, I've got this between me and the thing, which is actually, I'm liking it better than having the harmonic thing around my neck. But I actually am not able to lean forward. I'm not able to sit as close. Like, normally I would be sitting here, so my back wouldn't be curving as much. I don't know.
Those weebs are slaying each other. I want to go. I'm going. Sandy's here, triple take. Let's go get it. You hear it?
No focus again. I already did the thumb. I think this one's ready to stamp though. Yeah. Okay, so then thumb, and I'm gonna do this angle because I'm centering it going this way. There's a point when you're stamping with a clear stamper where you have to just commit and put the stamp down. See, and then when I turn it this way, it looks like it's slightly too far to the side. But when I'm handing things to people at work, it will look centered. And that's fine.
Oh my.
Let's get the next stamp to dry in.
Oh boy, they're on me. Different squad. Oh no. You're dead again. I'm gonna come res you. Oh no.
The stamp picked up well, but I got a big old splodge of extra polish on the edge there. Oh, thanks.
We're gonna combine both of us into one playable character.
I'm happy with the way it's working out so far. It's working okay. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Dwan, dwan, dwan. I did the thing again. I was too close to I was too close to the clover. And it just got totally, it like just gutted the poor thing. I know I do, but I forgot to get it ready before I started, and then okay, when I have tape, I put the tape around the tape roller and I stick it back down again on this end, so I have a full-on option of lots of tape to get rid of extra stamps that I need to get rid of, which actually, with this particular design, I'm not using that much polish, and I actually don't need that, because I'm able to do it with a little piece. But I forgot to get a little piece ready before I started, and so then I just had to like kind of gnaw off the edge that was hanging over on the other end to be able to have anything at all to use, because my nails were already wet. And I don't want to be rolling tape with wet nails. That doesn't sound productive or helpful, or like I won't ruin all the work I already did. You know? See, and I do have the little corner. I'm trying to go for the corner when I'm going up in close to it. I just am failing sometimes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, I don't do the peel-off base. I can't even imagine how risky that would be. I have never tried peel-off base, to be honest.
People over there.
It would not, I don't feel like I would enjoy it. I know that there's like the peely aspect.
I don't have anything. Oh, Mozambique here. Thanks.
Which marble? Which one? Are you talking about the tape at the edge when you were going around to protect before you dipped? I don't think I was in chat at the very moment that you were having difficulty with tape of some kind.
I'm doing great. We're gonna win this one.
I did just watch your ocean swirl marble, though.
It looks like you're going.
And I think it's funny that you were mad that you forgot to reverse the swirl, because I would not. I mean, it could be totally intentional if they're going the same way, and only you knew that you meant to reverse them. So even if someone did notice that they were going the same way, they don't know that that's not the way you meant it to be.
There it is.
I wasn't able to watch that stream. The purple Orly one. Yeah, okay. No, I saw most of the purple Orly one. I just missed. There was one part where I was having audio issues and stuff, and I left, and then I came back like 10 minutes later or something like that. It must have been right in that little bit. Or before I came, because I did come a little bit into it. I think I was there for that one.
Nice.
I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me.
I did an alternator.
What day did you stream it? I don't even know. If it was on Saturday, I was there. But I did come in a little late. Yeah. It could have been when I was eating sausage. Yeah, no, I definitely was there for that. That manicure. The swoops.
Roth?
Those sausages were, I actually misinformed you guys. They were not mild Italian sausages. They were bratwursts, which I found out when I got to the table and James was like, "Here are your bratwursts," and I was like,
"Wait, syringe? I can use those to
I
heal."
accidentally lied to people because you didn't inform me properly.
I'm just kidding. I have some.
Not that you care that I gave you the wrong name of the wrong sausage. Any of you.
I want that.
I am getting... My blob of polish is not quite as close to the tip of my brush as I would like it to be. In this moment. It is fighting me. No, of course not. I don't think that you're...
Are you using your sniper skill?
I don't think that you're expecting me to somehow have magical knowledge of every single moment of every single stream. I missed a couple of streams this week, though, because... Or this week and last week, because I missed the whole testing for the one that ended up looking like that one shirt. And I missed all of the testing and the manicure for the ocean swirl design. So both of those tutorials, when I watched them, they were new information to me. And that was kind of like a flashback to bygone years. I was like, oh, a new Colette tutorial that I don't know what it is. Cool.
This lagged really bad.
There is not enough overlap there for me to be mad about it. So we're going to leave it. And I'm going to clean this off so that the acetone can dry. And I'm going to top coat this hand. Ugh. Okay. I'm debating which top coat I want to use. Because I really do.
Make a portal for them to come.
I think I'm just going to use my regular top coat. Because I have some scented top coats from Vibrant Vinyls that I do also like. But I don't think I'm in the mood for smelling my nails.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this isn't fair at all. I need help.
Alright. And then, of course, Cuticle Scoop to the rescue. Big Cat's down here again digging in this plastic bag. I don't know what it is with her in plastic bags. I do not know. She just wants to be in them and smell them. And she, like, huffs them. It's like this... I don't know. I'm not going to imitate my big cat huffing a plastic bag, but... It's unsettling if you're not familiar with it.
Oh.
So if you can hear her down there, I apologize.
Okay, there's no one there. You're nuts. Oh, jeez. Wait, there's a care package.
Yay! I'm so
Guys
pleased.
upon me.
I'm so pleased for you.
I'm the chosen one.
I was glomming on the polish so thick there that I dripped an extra drip of top coat off of the stem of my top coat brush into the center of my hand because I didn't wipe the brush off because I just was like letting it all come on. That's just great.
What if it never comes?
I mean, it's not like that bad, but come on, Gloria. Be careful.
There. Oh, it didn't make sound.
Stop with the ruckus, okay? Leave it alone.
Jacked him. Oh,
She's digging in the bag that has the polish in it.
Shooting.
The Color Club polish. And I got a couple of the China Glaze from the spring collection.
Oh, jeez.
One of those, actually, I had already gotten, hoping that it would be the green to fulfill the spot in the green gradient that I so desperately want to make and don't have the right light green for, despite having dozens of greens in that green family.
They're another fight.
But it's slightly too blue toned and so it doesn't work. But I also wanted to get a couple of others and they didn't have them. Can you please not? Can you please not? Thank you. She's sitting here footing at the thing like this. She's like, and then she knocked over a bunch of stuff. She's not normally that messy. They talk about alpha cats and beta cats and gamma cats. You know, the alpha cat is the cat who will manipulate its own environment to get its own way. The gamma cat is the cat that will sit there and cry and cry and cry and never do anything to help itself. And the beta cat is somewhere in between. I have 2 beta cats that are kind of somewhere in between, but Ember leans a little bit more gamma. She's a little bit more helpless. And Char leans a little bit more alpha. She's a little bit more bossy. There's that pretty girl. Come and sit and be nice and stop pushing things.
Okay.
I think I'm going to possibly have to do a second coat of top coat because some of these flakies are slurping it up.
There's more over here.
Although, I might end up just doing a matte top coat instead to add the second layer of smoothness and also then make them matte. Actually, I just decided, yes, that is what I'm going to do.
When do you guys put all these heels here?
When I,
or to be like punch it out of them?
On the Reddit Lacquerista subreddit, when I was made a mod, there were some other people that were made assistant mods too. And one of the gals, you know, you kind of met in mod related, like, chat, whatever.
I hear sound.
And then, my next post that I posted with nail art, she was like, okay, just some nosy questions. Is your favorite color green? And yes, executive decision. I'm good at those. She was like, okay, nosy questions. Is your favorite color green? And do you prefer matte nails to glossy nails? And I was like, yes. Astute inferencing and correct on both points.
I have as many grenades as I can fit in my pants. That's quite a few. Hey, look. Just in time.
That's an excellent use of Crow Judge, by the way. still have not found a use for the Clark emote. Because he has not done anything Clarky since it became a thing.
Man.
Like, I'm waiting for him to go boof boof in the background or something, and then I can spam the Clark emote and make a Clark pyramid. Alright, we're going to let that dry before we get anywhere to matte top coat, though. Let me change the focus and get you up close. It's okay? Why does he think that? Alright. There's our little chamois rockies.
What are you doing?
Hanging out on our gradient. And then this one's upside down, but I can turn it around because I'm a human being and I have opposable thumbs. Hooray! Oh, okay. I get you. I know what you're saying.
Someone just jumped out.
Yeah. It makes sense. Okay, let's see if this is ready to stamp. Yes, it definitely is. Which nail do we want to stamp you on, my friend? Which one is more dry? Which one did I do first? This one I did first. Oh god, this angle. Okay, hang on. I think I might have to do this slightly off camera to be able to appropriately not break my wrist. Okay. No! Oh my god, that. No! You guys, I just put my freaking thumb, across the freaking clover. This would be an appropriate point to put the Clark emote.
Where? Inside?
Oh gosh. Okay, well, you know what? I can fix this. It's fine, and I can fix it. Because this whole middle area is going to have clover stamped over it anyway.
Ow.
No.
It's me.
I can't because I smeared the green outside of the clover area. So what I'm going to do is get a Q-tip and some acetone, and I'm going to and just kind of like carefully remove this area.
It takes too long.
And then we will be able to stamp a new clover over the top. It's not unfixable. It holds your breath. Yes. I am going to have to put a little bit of the light green over some of these edges to make sure that dark, if there's any dark bits left over, that they aren't going to, like, I don't want, because I'm probably going to remove some of the light green from underneath the stamped area, it will reveal some of the gold flakies, slightly too much. And then I can disguise it again with just another pass with the light green on the very edges, but not the middle part because it's going to be covered with stamp. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay, that half of the stamp is gone. Can you see that? That's not too bad. And then fresh acetone. More dabbing, more turning. Very carefully. The most dangerous bit about this is the little fuzzies that are possibly getting left behind, which I don't want to be leaving behind, and which I'm going to pull off this way. The reason my thumb was anywhere near it to begin with is because the stem of the clover.
Right.
Okay.
The
stem of the clover did that thing where it tries to stay on the stamper. It must have been slightly too dry.
Thanks.
Okay, so I just need a little bit more light green to clear out that patch. It must have been slightly too dry, and so it was trying to get left behind, and so I was trying to very gently knit the stem of the clover down onto my nail so it didn't go floating around and get carried away with top coat. And I was not gentle enough or careful enough, and I regret. But it's not unfixable. I am pleased with that gradient fix. That looks okay to me. Focus, please. With the stamp over the top of that, that'll look okay with me. But we can't stamp on that immediately. We have to let it dry a little bit. So we got to stamp the other ones first. Okay. Yes, that's right. Polish surgery. The unfortunate and yet necessary child of humanity and project polishing. No, isn't that when you're trying to use up polish in a year or something? You know what I mean. Projects that involve polish.
Those do more damage than my bullets. Look at the kill feed. Look at those names. Look at them scroll. He's a kill leader.
Oh, you couldn't see the acetone dry. It's all blown out right now.
Look out.
There we go.
Let
me reset the... Take off the autofocus again.
I'm running. I don't have a gun.
My whole tray is falling. That's why the camera's moving.
I do not have a gun.
The weight of the camera apparently was pulling on it improperly. There.
I need a gun. How's that? Oh, everyone has a purple shirt. Amazing. They're shooting at me?
There. That's better.
I'm going up. Moving up in the world. Oh.
Okay. That is a successful image transfer. Which you can't see because I'm too close because I set the not autofocus.
Where are they? I want to kill them.
And need more of this. You know, having swatches is very helpful. I think I might have mentioned when I was doing the. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did mention when I was doing the rose stream that the two greens that I used for the leaves on those roses, when they're wet, they look the same color.
Not two of them.
But then one of them is darker when it dries, and having picked them based on their swatches and comparing the swatch sticks and being like, okay, this one is like slightly darker and this one is slightly lighter, but they coordinate well together. I'm going to use those for the leaves. Then when I put them together on my little test on my... Where did I put it? On here? On my little test that I did.
I punched him.
When I first put them on, I was like, okay, well, these are the same color. This is a lie. But then I said to myself, you know what? Just trust the swatch. Trust the swatch. It will be darker. I bet you. I bet you. And then it was.
They suck.
And then I didn't have to pick another color. She's such a lump, this big cat. She's just sitting here like a little gnocchi lump. Potato dumpling. I just actually watched a potato dumpling video from Chef John for a German potato dumpling that I don't know how to pronounce.
Really?
Earlier this week. So maybe she's one of those that I can't pronounce.
Yelling? Come in. I'm here.
Okay. That is filled in fine, and now we gotta sit and wait. Not quite as long as last time, apparently, because I waited too long and then it got too dry, and then the stem didn't want to leave the stamper. Let's clean up these nails while I wait.
Knocked one. Oh, I'm down.
Oops. Ugh. Thankfully, my quick dry top coat saved me there.
I'm over here with
Otherwise, I would not have been happy.
Oh. Yeah.
There.
feels bad.
'Cause then I can
39.
be in frame while leaning up with my wrist.
Jeez.
I've got
Oh, 39.
Pulled pork, like smoked pulled pork in my fridge. And I had kind of a late lunch, so I haven't had dinner yet. But that's what I'm going to eat as basically a midnight snack before I go to bed when I'm done with this. I have, I don't know, it's kind of like not what you'd expect, but yeah, I had some of it yesterday. I'm going to do the same thing. I have low carb tortillas and sour cream and like a chipotle honey sauce that I can use a little bit of, and then the smoked pulled pork and some bell peppers. I'm going to put those together into a wrap. And it's gonna be good. James, when I did it yesterday, he was like, oh, okay, there's a lot of Chinese flavor profile going on here. And I was like, you know what? Actually, yes. That's not at all what my intentions were, but yeah, I guess that's true. Sorry if this is blurry. Yeah, it's blurry. Because I set the focus and I don't have it on autofocus. I apologize. I'm gonna be back up there in a second. There. These flakies, they stick to the skin like nobody's business, but they can be removed when you wash your hands pretty easily.
He's dead. I'm the jump master. This is gonna be the good one.
Which is, you know,
this is it.
Not necessarily as easy as just removing them with the acetone along with the polish, but at least it takes them off.
This is the big one.
Is that dry enough to stamp on? Yeah, it is.
Get ready.
Let me actually adjust this slightly. Now that that's drier, I can see that there needs to be a little bit more light polish in a couple of areas.
I see a guy. Got him.
Right there needs to be a little, and right there needs to be a little, and that's going to be covered up with a clover, but it won't hurt to do a little bit. And then I'm going to
it's over.
daub that just a little bit.
How much damage you do? Ooh.
To make sure that it's not a lump.
Let me see. Bruh.
Yeah. That's okay. All right. That is dry enough. All right, take two.
Yep. Trip is playing Hearthstone. Shock.
All right. That is kind of off center. I'm not pleased with that. Why? Why is that so off center? It doesn't look that bad when it's this angle. No, it does. Ugh, good lord. Why? Okay. I need to. Oh gosh. Thank you. Thank you for the comfort. I'll be okay. I need to do it again. I'm not gonna be happy with that. I'm gonna be mad at that all week. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get some Q-tips. Let's do that again. Oh boy. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Yeah. You just gotta laugh, because if you don't laugh, you'll just be mad.
That's good. What?
I don't even know if this is on camera. Is this on camera? No. Let's adjust that. Let's make it so that it is on camera. We're just going to do the same thing again that we just did. We're going to adjust by removing the stamp with very careful daubing with the Q-tip, and then we're going to fix. Do you see what I mean about leaving too many gold flakies behind when I'm removing the green? Oh gosh, yeah, no kidding. That would be frustrating. I'm leaving behind it. See, but this whole area is gonna mostly be covered up with the next clover stamp, which hopefully will please be centered and not messed up, right? But I still want to make sure that I adjust it first because I don't know for sure exactly what parts of it are going to be covered. And there's too much gold flaky if I just leave it like that. There's just slightly too much. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to get it apart and fix it, because that would be really frustrating.
That's a real gun, right?
I am sure. I can definitely sympathize.
Yeah, you guys got some with the body shield.
Do those look even? Yeah, they're pretty even. Once the clover's over top, it'll look even. These ones with top coat, the gradient looks pretty smooth. I'm pretty pleased. Okay, so we have to get another stamp to start setting before we worry about top coat on these two other nails that are allowed to have top coat, and matte top coat on the other hand, which I think is dry enough to warrant it. So let's do this side and this side.
That's good. Champion Gus QLS 3651 has been eliminated.
I'm just waiting for a sale.
Wait, really?
To get a replacement body for that stamper head, because I do think I need to. I like the shorter bodies like this, but none of them have the same size as the stamper head that I like. So I want to get a replacement of the stamper body for the stamper head that I like, but again, like I said, want to wait for sale because this is working in the meanwhile.
Please, someone.
Oh God, look at that fuzzy's trying to like be in my business. Go away.
Angry Dome 1, lead out.
Okay. Palm Deco. Palm trees are kind of like quintessentially Californian, and I really don't like them. I'm much more of a deciduous forest kind of a person. But that might be because I grew up in Michigan until I was 9 and then I moved. Plus, palm trees, there was a baby palm tree when I was in 4th or 5th grade. I don't remember which grade. We were playing tag and I jumped off of a short little wall in front of the gym right into the heart of a baby palm tree, and its little spiny tines of death like scratched all the way up my shin, and I have a scar from it. Sorry, I'm too far down.
Someone. Did you see? Big sausage pizza. What?
I don't have a ton of scars. I'm starting to scar more easily now, though, I think, than I did when I was younger.
Mom says, like,
I mean, I'm not like super old. I'm still only 28, but like I nicked my ankle while shaving. I don't know, 2 months ago. And now I have like a weird scar on the ankle bump where I nicked myself. Like, why? Like, I don't know. I never shave, and it's like, okay, well, fine. If I'm going to nick myself while shaving, I'm just never going to shave again. That's an exaggeration, but that was the way I felt. I was like, it's not worth it.
Silly Kyle 22.
Oh yeah, look, you can see my hairy leg on camera there. Excuse me.
How is there not a light ammo gun?
Gosh, I think I might need to go get a drink. I haven't had a drink
Yeah.
in a little bit, and I don't have anything over here. I will be right back while I wait for that to set. Hang on.
Kind of like that. You're a liar. Oh my god, it's even worse. We're going backward. Oh. Let's go. There you go.
Coke Zero. Oh no, the cat left. Coke Zero, orange vanilla again. And of course, your nails are tools, not tools. So I'm going to use this to open it instead of my hand. It's a cuticle scoop and a soda opener.
Where's your Roscoe?
If I can. There we go.
He's deaf.
I feel like that was slightly. Mouche refreshment. Let's
Whoa, 301 here.
what do I want to do next while I wait for that to dry? Do I want to just put matte top coat on this hand, or do I want to put top coat onto these two fingers? I think I'm going to put top coat onto these two fingers.
This is it. I'm done.
After I clean off my stamping plate.
Now I can finally put grenades in my bag.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one big gnarly scar on the side of my finger from when I smashed my finger in a door when I was, I think, 7. It's right there on the side of my finger. Can you see that?
I'm getting bullets.
I was helping my mom carry groceries, and I closed the front door, which was quite heavy, and my finger was right at the point where the latch goes in, like slightly above it. So or I guess below it, because my finger was here, and the latch like went like this, right across the edge of the finger. And the door was locked, so my mom had to like scramble and find her keys to like let me out of the locked door while I was screaming in pain. So that was probably traumatic for her more than it was for me, because, you know, the pain blocks out the negative memory sometimes. And then
he speaks.
What happened there?
Oh, you got bamboozled. Look at that.
I'm okay. There's nothing wrong.
There.
Anyway, my dad poured hydrogen peroxide on it to like sanitize the wound, and that really hurt. It was not a pleasant experience.
Right here.
0 out of 10 would not recommend smashing finger indoor.
Where are they?
This nail is so wonky. It curves so weirdly down on this other side. It's like the least conforming of my nails to typical beauty standards. But I still love it anyway, because God gave it to me. And I take care of it because it belongs on my body. But it's definitely the black sheep compared to the others.
I had a lot of light ammo. Oh yeah, leak.
Okay.
I spilled.
So let's try this again.
They're gonna be like, I think there was a battle
On the thumb. Now that this is drier, we got to line it up.
Me too.
And stamp. That looks more centered to me. Yes, please. Thank you. All right. I think that's pretty centered. Yeah. Does that look pretty centered? I'm okay with that. That is centered. Yay. Hooray. Oh boy. And then I think I'm just going to top coat that one too since I'm at it. Thank you for sharing in my pain and in my joy. Oh boy. I can't. There's a bubble that's like right on the end of the brush. There we go. And it didn't want to leave. Okay. Very lightly with the brush. Float it over the nail.
It's 2019, just like
Cap the
text message.
tip.
Use Discord.
Oh, there's a buy one get one Zoya sale right now. They had it on their stories. Something that James said in the background just then made me remember that it existed, and I haven't.
Because I say that like 20 times.
I don't have that many Zoyas that I want, because I have a butt ton of Zoyas. But I do want the fern color and the air color from the spring collection.
You suck. That's how you die.
Good night. I think it's buy one get one, but it doesn't include shipping. But that's the same price as like the
on the hill.
Earth Day sale is 50% off usually.
Up there, all the way top.
So buy one get one if you want two polishes is the same.
They're like
deal.
here. I'll ping them on the map for you. They're right here.
Did you look at their spring collection at all? Thank you, Praise. Yeah. Does the Earth Day sale typically have free shipping? I can't remember. Because if it does, I might wait also, because this one doesn't have free shipping.
Yeah?
Look, they're buddies.
We die. It's true, it's a battle royale.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'll have to go look. What did you think about that Theo color?
I see something, I think.
It was interesting, and I like the concept of it, but I don't really like dark grays like that. That's funny. Yeah, I guess that's a distinct possibility.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's good pickup. I thought the description of it was interesting, like a spring thunderstorm or whatever, but it's slightly textured, they say, and I don't know, the white or silver, some people say they're white, some people say they're silver. The shards in there looked interesting, but then the blue micro glitter was like not my cup of tea. I don't know. Yes, I feel like it's an interesting finish, and I'm very curious about the finish, but that particular color is not necessarily the one I would gravitate toward
for
first.
20 minutes and then get it grenaded.
Oh, you weren't here yesterday when I was talking about that documentary that I... every time I lick my brush like that to bring it to a point, it reminds me of this documentary that I was watching about 18th century something... like, I don't remember what year, but it was about the beginnings of toxicology and, like, forensic science in New York. And part of it was talking about people who used to work in factories painting the numbers onto glow-in-the-dark clocks during World War I think.
Where is it?
So, you know, it progressed. It followed several years. So obviously it continued into the early 1900s. And they were using radium to paint the numbers because it glowed in the dark. And the gals would lick their brushes to bring it to a point, and so their jaw was the area that had the most exposure, and a lot of them developed really horrible bone cancer, and their jaws like melted off their face. And just not pleasant. Yeah, I agree. That's why, you know, a lot of people have said that. You know, they're like, it feels kind of like an indie polish in the way that the finish is multifaceted, you know, and it also isn't necessarily the color that I'd want to see it in, but I'm like glad to see a more mainstream brand trying something different with their finish.
Pork chop. I killed one.
Array. I mean, that documentary is really interesting. You know, apparently the office of coroner used to be a political office rather than like a medical office. And it was talking about like the first medical examiner that was like actually a doctor, and like the first toxicologist, and how he was able to prove a man's innocence from like he didn't actually poison his family on purpose. It was just this, I think it was
killed them.
Some other substance that had been introduced into their hot cocoa or something, and he was able to prove it. And like the way that people started discovering that leaded gasoline was not good for you. I don't remember what it was called. I'll have to look it up and see, but it was really interesting. It's been a couple of years since I watched it though, so I don't remember.
They got another fight.
Alright, let's clean off this, and then we will put some matte top coat on the first hand. I was...
Healing.
One of the things I'm really liking about this matte top coat also, by the way, is the way that it doesn't start to get dry and flaky as the bottle gets lower. You can see I've used quite a bit. The bottle is more than a half gone, and most mattes get like weird crusty flaky white stuff around the opening of the bottle that like gets down inside and creates like white dots and stuff when you're stroking across the nail later. And this one has not done that at all. And I am really happy about that.
Dang.
Let's get a little bit more in.
We're dead. I think we're dead. Are we dead? No.
There's like a fuzzy right there. Get out of there, fuzzy. You're going to ruin everything.
I think Ross is dead. That's for sure. No. I'll make it.
Okay. Well,
you got tired.
I'm going to have to go over that area again really quick. Hang on. It was starting to dry before I could get it fully smooth.
Nope. Alright, you can make it. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. Come on, dude. Come on. Quit messing around, dude. You gotta. Come on. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. It drives me bonkers. And this one has not done that at all.
Alright, let's get Ross's banner.
The matte that I use for most of my swatches is the Wet n Wild one because it really gets matte, but it's really cheap. But it gets the little flakies. That one and the OPI one and the Essie one all do. And I've tried the Glisten Glow Matte Top Coat, but it shrinks on me, which is weird because their regular top coat doesn't shrink on me. But their matte one really does, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it sucks. The real legendary sniper is the wingman. Oh God.
I don't think I'm autofocused, and I think I'm coming down too low, where you can't see me.
There's smoke here.
Let's readjust the focus to where I want to be.
There. Feeling? Wow, I did 10 to him. We're dead. It's over. It's over. Give up.
I would never say that.
10 is no.
My husband in the corner there. It's over. It's over. Give up. Nope. Never say die. Push until it happens. Succeed. It's like one time I was playing Betrayal at House on the Hill, and
no.
It's a game. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's a board game, but there's different scenarios every time, and usually there's one player who ends up being like the traitor. All right, I'm liking that with the matte. There it is, shiny. There it is, matte. I think this is dry enough to stamp in just a minute, so let's just do maybe 1 or 2 more nails with the matte, and then we'll go over and. Anyway, Betrayal on House on the Hill. There's usually one like traitor who has like a bunch of abilities after they are like given the role of traitor once the haunt happens in the game, and everybody else is trying to kill them, and so you're all working together against this one person usually. But they have a lot of abilities that are like, you know, sneaky and stuff. Sometimes they're like abilities that you don't even know about as the other players. And they're usually trying to just kill everybody else. Sometimes there's other win conditions. But
also maybe Ross again.
I was playing one time where everybody had died on the non-traitor side except for me. And everybody's like, he's gonna kill you, don't worry, like, just give up. And I was like, no, I'm going to defeat him. And I managed to get everything
This is gonna be insane.
Just right, and I ended up winning the game. And because I did that, everybody else who was on my team also won, even though they had died.
Rooftop?
And then they were all very grateful. And I was glad to be tenacious and stubborn. Oh, here's the big cat back. And there she is. Sweet little lumpy loaf. She's a sweetie.
There's a heavy mag, I can use that. Oh! Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Inside?
I'm going to set the autofocus again so I can get in really close so you can see the matte with the flakies. Oh yeah. Don't mind the dry, you know, bits of top coat stuck all over my skin.
Freaking bald lady, get out of here.
But yeah.
Get out of here.
I like flakies.
Trying to melee me. There you go.
Okay, this is dry enough to stamp.
Huh? Huh? Whoa! Whoa! Whoa.
I like that. That's good. Okay, let's top coat that one.
That was a good one.
The reason I'm top coating as I go is because in order to do the matte, I really want to have the top coat be set for at least a little bit. And so if I top coat these ones before I do the other ones, they'll have longer to dry, which means I can put matte top coat on them sooner. Sorry, I think I'm out of frame. She's so cute, this big cat. She's such a lump. Oops, sorry, I just like stabbed you guys in the eye with my cuticle scoop. Okay, let's get the next stamp to going. Scrape. Pick up. This is a good pickup. This is the last clover, if everything goes well. Okay, let's fill it in.
He's not alright, he can't eat.
Sorry, I didn't realize that my camera was way off to the side like that.
Oh yeah.
I must have tilted it when I was doing cleanup on that other hand and not moved it back. I apologize.
This is not artillery, dude. Better be sorry.
This polish is going exactly where I want it to go right now, and it's like cooperating very well with me. I'm very happy.
Senius is yesterday's meta.
I need that to be slightly thicker though.
Look at this. Wow. Your character's so good at looting. Yeah.
Okay.
I want it though. You touched it.
Clean that off.
Good. Someone just open a box right in front of me.
There, that's okay.
One down.
I feel like one of the lines
Two
got
down?
pushed. No, it's okay.
The last one's here. Last one's here.
Okay, so let's get some matte top coat over here on these other nails.
Where are they?
I need to order some more of this because it's almost out.
Come on, zipline.
And I really am liking it enough to want to get it again.
Oof.
The
No
only
problem.
matte
We did
top
it to
coat that I
himself.
have ever repurchased is the Wet n Wild one, and
Yeah,
that's
they're
only
not very
because it's
good.
super cheap and I use it
Yeah,
for
they're caustic,
swatches.
so that kind of tells you everything then, right?
And I have a butt ton of swatches, and so I have needed a lot of it.
Imagine that being
Most places don't carry it in store anymore, but the Rite Aid near me has it, and every time I go in there, I get like all of the ones that they have. So I have
Me too.
6 or 7 just kind of in the cupboard here. I've already gone through 5 or so for swatches, but they're not super. They have. Okay, I guess they're bigger than they look. They're 12 point something milliliters, 12.3 milliliters.
Oh dang!
Which is like a weird number. But they have a weird bottle. It's like a very unique bottle shape. It's like this. I hate the bottle of those, to be honest, because you can't set the lid down ever, and they're narrower, so they tend to want to fall over easier.
That guy.
And they're taller, so they run into shelves if you're trying to like layer them. Like on these ones that I have down here that are right above each other.
Dabs.
rather than being tiered like the other racks that I have on the shelves. Here, let me actually show you. The ones down here
You're doing
are above each other. Can you see that? How they're all like the racks go above each other. Whereas these ones over here are tiered, where they don't have anything directly above each row, but these ones do.
No, I'm already here.
These are higher, actually, the distance in between, so most things do fit, but like where I have one and then another one underneath it, sometimes I haven't had the right distance when I installed them. I measured it slightly off, and so it ended up not being exactly right.
Okay.
And so there are some bottles that are too tall to fit in between.
Where's the beast keeper?
I think my very least favorite bottle shape is this bottle shape that's like super narrow and it's like super wide because they fall over so easily. I think she changed her bottles though, that brand. I know there's other brands that use that same bottle shape, but I think that brand changed their bottles. Okay. Got
that's all we paid for.
Not a good brightness. Goodness.
Because it was hardcore fun sack. We should go play with him.
There we go. There's a matte clover with the flakies.
Sounds legit.
Yes, I like it. It's very good.
He's making some big promises.
Alright, I'm thinking like...
Yeah, same with the wingman.
I think that's ready to be stamped.
Oh, it was robbed. You sure? I got the other one.
There it is. 2 clovers. Midnight Polish Soul. I will definitely post that other St. Patrick's Day picture in Discord for you as soon as I'm done with stream. And if it's not up there by tomorrow when you wake up, give me a holler and I'll go and do that. But I'll try to remember to do it as soon as I'm done with stream.
It could have been a real item.
Right, so I'm done with the stamper. I'm going to close it before I damage it in any way. With the cap that's too small for the giant spoogey top that I stuck on there. Oh, this big cat's a sweet lump. I know I keep saying that, but I keep thinking it because it's so true, and she's just so cute. Thank you. I'm done with the stamping. I just need top coat on this nail and matte on everything, so I'm almost done.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Feeling?
There's so much extra top coat. I'm just really glomming it on today, hey?
They ulted?
It could also be because I just refilled the bottle, and so I'm dipping my brush in the same amount that I normally dip my brush in. But it's just a very full bottle, so I'm getting more top coat on it.
Got him.
Sorry, that's not in focus.
That guy's the gold shield. Yeah. You're not very good.
Okay.
You're not very good. Disappointed. I'll get it. Remember last time I used it? Oh yeah, that was so cool. That's good. Yeah. That's not the same thing. It's lagging. So,
Alright, y'all gonna don't stand.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Hang on. What I was trying to say is, now that I'm done stamping, I'm just going to keep my focus right here. Because that's pretty much where I'm going to be during cleanup and the rest of top coat. And then it won't jump around so much.
Where are they? Healing. Careful.
Oh.
Healing. Almost done.
This cleanup brush is getting pretty. I need to trim off some of these wild hairs that are sticking off the edges.
Ow.
Hang on.
This guy's so low. He's so low. Kill him. Kill. Oh,
I have
boy.
a little bit of polish that I accidentally scraped, so I need to fix it really quick. Another miniature bout of polish surgery. Not a lot, just on this edge. I told you I had this hair of this cleanup brush sticking out, and he, that little errant hair, got too far into the green on the back side of this, and it cut kind of like a hunk right there out of it. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of this green back right there. And then I'm gonna put matte top coat over it again.
What?
Once I clean it up.
Okay.
I don't think that it's gonna be that big of a deal once I clean it up.
Nothing.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm just getting a little bit of the top coat out. I don't want to use the whole big top coat brush because that's going to make me have to cover the whole nail again, and I really just want to only cover this corner so that it can just kind of meld in once it's dry without creating a whole big ridge. It'll help it blend a little better. Sorry, I don't know if that was in focus. Can you see that edge there where I just added more matte top coat? Oh no, I'm sorry, I set the autofocus off, so it's down there. It'll be fine once the matte sets. It'll blend down in again.
Someone's here. I got him. Help! 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 They're getting me. Ah! She's low. She's low. I'm gonna body block her. Oh god. Oh god.
Sorry, I just really want to make sure it's level.
What? Sending us. Oh no. I killed one. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, you did 0.
Ugh,
Man.
I'm doing okay. This is okay. I just am being very picky. There. There, that's level. Okay. And then right around the edge. Okay, that's fine. And then let's do the pinky. I really am having to tip this to get anything out. I hope I have enough for my second hand. Ah! Okay. I got a lot of excess. You know, I'm like, oh, I hope I have enough for my other hand, and then I glom it on all awkwardly onto this pinky and waste some. Not what I need.
Oh no.
I need to switch out for a new cleanup brush, I think.
Is it?
Soon, because this one is getting
actually
pretty jaggedy.
insane? It's gonna run off. I have no gear, but whatever. Let's just.
I really like the e.l.f. cleanup brush for cleanup.
And why is it just
It's not, well, it's not called the e.l.f. cleanup brush. It's a concealer brush, I think.
You should run up to the guy,
a lot of
take
nail
the gun
people
out of
use
his
it
hands, and
for
then run
cleanup.
away. There's a guy right there. What? He's right there. He's right next to me. Right next to me. Right here. I'm chasing him.
Okay,
He's
yes,
sliding
good.
away.
My repair on
He's
that
very
edge
scared.
looks fine. And then we've got the whole
I did 21 to hit. He threw an arc star at me. He has nothing else.
whole hand mat.
Oh god.
Alright. So then we have to do the second hand mat. Let's close my polishes though, so that they're not
What's this
losing
guy's deal?
their solvents.
I'm gone. I'm trying.
And let's consolidate our trash Q-tips into one pile so that they're not in the way. And finish cleaning this off.
He's rezzing. Kill him. Kill
so
him.
that it's not just sitting in a pile of
He already killed these
polish.
guys.
And there. And close this. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. It definitely does. Because otherwise there's kind of a glare. Even with shiny nails, even if it's, I mean, it's just slightly, yeah. I need to hydrate my skin though. It, yeah, has better contrast.
She has no health. She has no health.
I am just fingers crossed that I have enough to get me through this manicure for this top coat. I had no idea that I was quite that low.
The Mangler never died.
Gosh. Oh, I changed my autofocus again. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Bangalore got away, dude. I'm so sad. I don't think so. I killed a wraith on my find. I don't know who the third was. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, we did it. We did.
I need a Q-tip for that. Getting up and under there. There's top coat and stuff stuck on the end of my
What an
thumb.
achievement.
And it's just too much. I've got some on these fingers too.
This is all looted. Let's go somewhere else with people.
There. Okay. If I had realized that I was quite this low, I might have just buffed them bad instead.
No.
But I did not know.
Yeah, triple takes definitely best gun. When you shoot someone with the whole magazine and it doesn't even kill them, ooh, that's a good gun. I'm good at that. Ghost. This is looted. This is looted.
Okay. I thought there was a fuzzy on that nail. I don't know what that is. It's like a little dot. Like a little... It blends in with the flakies, so you can't see it. I think it might just be like a distorted flaky that isn't quite the same color of gold.
I don't have any bullets.
But it's fine. It blends in with the flakies. It's no big deal.
Good. Wow. I'm doing it. No one ever lands here.
I really like these. I am very happy so far. I mean, we're not quite done yet, but I am pretty happy. These are good. I've got a little...
Stuff them in your pants. Gotta save them for later.
Okay. 3 more nails. I think we're gonna make it.
There we go. I was trying to take one scope and it kept throwing the other one on the ground. Yeah, just put it on the
There's
other
so
guy.
much
It's a you want
dry
to
polish here on the very end of my finger.
Yeah.
And I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, remember, we did this nail and this nail after we did this nail for the top coat. So I'm going to do the pinky first. Because it's had the longest
The doors are closed.
to dry.
They're not open. It's nighttime. If I shoot at you right now at the Peacekeeper, you'll be so scared. Yeah. I kind of figured. Ooh,
Oh, the face of concentration.
grenade bag. Yeah. It's like a squirrel. You just gotta put all the grenades in. And you hold them.
That's what I should do during your next stream call it, is watch your face when you're doing something super like concentrated rather than watching the nail part of the screen.
Of course not.
And see if you make any weird faces like I do. Because I bet you do. Everybody does when they're concentrating super hard.
Yeah, only one of them can aim. Oh, jeez.
Okay. Oh. That's really funny. I make really weird faces when I drive. I'll be driving along and I'll just realize that I'm doing this. Hang on, let me see if I can configure it.
Yeah, where are they?
Like, as I'm driving. I'm like that weird frog toad lady at the reception desk in Monsters, Inc. I don't know why. I don't know. I must be, like,
wait, how is he alive?
deeply lost in concerning thoughts, or maybe I'm just,
here.
like, judging everybody on the road. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll catch myself doing that sometimes when I'm doing my nails, too. Or if I'm, like, doing something else that has a concentrated kind of focused thing about it.
I did like 500 damage to that one lady. She lived.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't usually feel judgy when I find myself making the face, though. Like, I don't know. I think it's just my concentrating face. Okay. So we're going to do the middle nail, and then we're going to do the ring nail. Okay. I think we'll have enough. Yay! I definitely need to get more, though. Because I'm, like, scraping the bottom of the barrel here. And I am impressed with the quality of it all the way up to the end. It's, it has stood up well. Get off of there, you piece of matte top coat. You don't belong. Okay.
Alright, dude. The best part. The pork chop.
Oh, the big cat's doing something cute again. Can you see her ears?
Chili dogs.
I don't know if you can.
Big cat. Big cat. You're a pretty, pretty girl, big cat.
Yeah, the new one.
I don't think. Yeah, she was doing airplane ears. She was. James said something and she turned and turned her ears back toward him like she was listening hardcore.
I like it.
Okay.
You're in trouble already?
Nail.
Oh my god. Where are you? Oh god, I see everyone. I see them. They're crouching.
Gosh, this is definitely.
Why am I dead? Where is everyone? Oh my god.
Okay.
There's a guy by me. Oh.
I beat it.
I was able to eke out.
Yeah.
I mean, there is still a little bit in there, but it's like really hard to get on the brush. Do you see how it's below the level of the brush? And I probably do need to add a little bit of thinner to the last little bit of it to be able to let it move a little more so I can get it on the brush. Okay.
Senny's Resby.
Wonderful.
Evacuate. Ross is about to die. You're gonna need to help him.
By the way, the second part of the stamping where you had to say Donk Shoon again, or Donk Shane, or however you ended up saying it.
Oh, jeez.
Look at her headbutting the chair.
Gruesome.
Sorry, I interrupted by the big cat being a cutie too.
What are you doing, big cat?
Did I say your name and not let you do that anymore because you got distracted? You consistently said it again, is what I was trying to say. You said it the same way that you said it at the beginning, the second time you said it a couple of days later. Did you go back and listen to it again to make sure that you were getting it right? Or did you just remember? Or did you just guess? Yeah. It sounded great.
Place what? Place his heart?
Okay. Victory.
1660 for it.
Okay. There we go. Let me get this so that you can see the other hand.
20.
Voila. I am pretty happy. And there's the thumb that gave us so much trouble. In all his little thummy glory. Out of focus. Come on. Focus, please.
Yeah, it sucks.
Focus, please.
Bamboozles.
He's still giving us a lot of trouble. Boy, howdy. There we go. There he is. Yay! You could never tell.
Look at that.
No one will know, except for the people who watched the stream. Thank you. All right, that's it for stream, I think, because it is bedtime in about 10 minutes for me. So, good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Where are we going?
I'll see you.